Hello, I've just been informed that if you wish to look fly like Ella and myself, then you should click your way to creative.com. On this website is remarkable designs, t-shirts, jackets, hats, hoodies, sweatpants, and more to come. We also have courses if you're looking to advance in your musical endeavors. Once you visit our website, it's pretty awesome. But once you make a buy, it's remarkable. It supports the channel and me. Please don't tell Elif I said that, but he has not paid me yet. So buy away. Let's continue this journey in creating a movement of creatives around the world that can create with their inner creative juices. Musicians, music producers, beat makers, singers, club promoters, whomever you are in this industry, join me while we expand. As Elip always says, stay creative without rules, but I have another saying. May the creative forces be with you. I made it up myself. Some people may think I'm Elip, but I'm really not Elip. He doesn't look anything like me. This commercial is now over. Back to the video.
Okay, we're live. My video didn't work. Anyway, I'm Elip from Creative Sound. We are live. Once again, that means you guys can ask me questions and I'll answer them live. We're talking about the new topic, the new hot topic right now. So this video will be long because it's live. So I just want to make that clear. From Creative Sound. We are live. Once again, let me, you guys can ask me questions. Find it. Okay. All right. I had like a double playback. So what's up with everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's good with everybody? Today is that day. It's a hot topic. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody hit me up about it because they know that I'm like that machine guy. And I'll show you guys a bunch of videos, tips, tricks. I use Maschine. I've been using for years. And everything has been linked to the computer, right? And all of a sudden, now we have standalone, right? Better late than never, right? So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. What's up? Is it Quails? What's going on? What's going on? Kind of want to give everybody a chance to like come in before we like dive a little deep into this topic right now. It's a hot topic right now, of course. If you're watching this video, thumbs up on the video. If you're not subscribed, you need to be subscribed here, because one of these days I will have this device in my hands, and I'll go through my thoughts, and like, it'll be a whole new series of videos coming out with this device here. So you guys need to be subscribe if you want to check those out. What's good with everybody? What's up, Fizz Entertainment? Machine Plus. Yes, this is what they're calling it. Yep, you saw the price point as well, K Boogie. $1,400. Yikes. Yeah, that is right. That is the appropriate response to the price point. So you say, what is okay? What is? Why is it that much money? It needs to be doing quite a bit of things for that to be that price point. Now, at that price point, I remember when the Maschine Studio came out around that price point. When the Maschine Studio came out, that was the price of that. When the MK3 came out, it was half that price, right? And the Maschine MK3 took on the flagship title, right? It replaced the Maschine, the huge Maschine Studio. But when the Maschine Studio came out, and I'm doing like this because it's sitting right behind me, literally. When the Maschine Studio came out, it had that huge price point because it actually broke away from the normal form factor. And then they went back to the same form factor with MK3, but they added more bells and whistles on it that made it useful or more musical in terms of what you can do on it. But in case some of you guys know, there's quite a few videos that's surfacing the web, the internet, YouTube right now about this topic. Everybody is like covering the topic, and I wanted to cover it as well with my subscribers, you guys that are already here, and I had a million. It seemed like it was $1 million. I'm just looking down the feed like, Ella, did you see it? Did you see it? I can't wait till you upload a video with your thoughts on it. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna talk about it with my subscribers. So my take would be not repeating with it. Well, it might be repeating with it, what some people may say, but you guys came here because you wanted to know my thoughts on it. So without further ado, I'm gonna show you the video in case some of you guys don't know, because some of you guys probably didn't know or was not aware that the Maschine came out, the Plus, the standalone model, I really did not say that they were coming out with a standalone. It was kind of hinted in the air, like they may not. I couldn't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But it kind of made sense a little bit when I started talking about the clips, the new that will be embedded in the next update, so to speak. So yeah. So we are here. We only moving forward. And everybody has speculations, and so now the rumor is true. I think it was like yesterday, some of the websites started to upload the standalone in their store, and everybody was like, "Man, what's going on?" Blah blah blah. And Native Instruments still did not upload any official statement. So now that they uploaded the initial video, I can talk about it. And like I say, for those of you guys that missed that, I will replay the video right now. All right, we back. So let's hit this topic right here. It okay. It doesn't come with the battery. All right. Um, Everything that we talk about here on this channel has always been geared towards the music, the user behind the production. It's all about workflow. That's what I preach heavy on here. It's all about workflow. So if you use something else different than what I have, it's all about workflow. But everything that you own all do the same thing, so to speak. It all achieve the same thing. You get results. The whole point behind all these different devices that we have is just so we can make music in the most creative form possible that makes sense to us, right? So that's why there's different platforms, whatever. And that's why some of you guys left Maschine and went to NPC or something else because of what you were looking for that you couldn't find here. So with that being said, Maschine has always been a part of my workflow, and it's been like I like to say the cornerstone or the center of my production. So with the standalone being implemented here, it's more like my response to this is like that's cool. I'm excited about it because of what you can do as a standalone. I can imagine myself being in another room of my house somewhere, or taking it somewhere and just plugging in, and I could do what I got to do without having to plug into a computer, obviously. But I mean, it does help that it comes with a battery. But like, if you think about it, you can actually just buy a battery pack. Just buy a battery pack, and like battery packs these days are pretty cheap. You could buy a battery pack and plug that thing in, and it's almost like it having a battery in it. And think about it, guys. I know sometimes, well, I know with Apple products, it's a little difficult to get to the battery once the battery runs out, right? With the battery pack, if you have a external battery, and once you depleted the battery, you can just go ahead and just buy another one, and it's probably going to be cheap. You know what I'm saying? And you're not required to like use any tools, break into any seals, whatever, because you know when you go in back of it, you break the seal of the device. And I know there's a lot of devices that's designed like that. You break the seal, you're going back there trying to replace whatever. Well, I mean, maybe they make it easy, whatever, if that was a part of the design or whatever. But I personally don't think it's a big deal that it doesn't come with the battery. I think that I just well, this is something I have, like a very small battery pack. This is for my phone devices or my cameras or whatever, and it's portable. And I mean, if you're gonna lug around this thing, I don't think it's a big deal just to buy a battery pack that will fit the production, the workflow here. And when you buy a battery pack, a lot of them come with extra imports or ports in there where you can plug in several devices at the same time. So, you know, that might be like a better beneficial. I mean, yeah, it would have been it would have been better if a battery was in the unit itself. That way you don't have to worry about any of that. You just take that thing and just, you know, like it's, you know, a device and no cords attached and do your thing. I mean, that would be the concept. You know, something like this that has a battery. But I mean, you know, I feel like this Native Instruments is moving forward. That's a good indication that there may be a unit in the near future that will have a battery pack attached to it as a part of the unit. But I mean, it is what it is. It's like, you got to take it. You got to take what you can get. You know what I mean? It's like there's always going to be something about something that you're not going to get. You know what I mean? You're not going to be fully satisfied with products that these companies release, because there's always going to be something you want, and that's another topic right there. That was like that was a point I made with the Atom Pad here. The Atom Pad came out, and then you got people. First, people are talking about what they would like to see happen in the future and what they want. And then when that product come here, now you have a new request for what you want in the device. And when they finally get to that request, then you always gonna want something new. You always gonna want something new. So at what point do you stop and just be satisfied with what you get and learn how to use the device or whatever it is that you're using, and just rock with that and learn that device, learn what it is that you're using, and just be satisfied with it? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, at what point do you come to that conclusion? Because we as humans, we are never satisfied with nothing. You know? So I mean, if the only thing that is missing is a battery, then it's worth it. Like, I guess if that's the only thing that is missing, I don't know. Maybe I'm talking. Maybe I'm just talking. But we on here. We talking live. I'm answering questions, seeing what you guys are thinking. I got to get back to the machine. I made a mistake and left for Beatmaker 3. Okay. Okay. And I kind of understand that concept right there. You left for portability. I'm thinking that's why you left. Maybe, I don't know if you left for what you can do, what you can do in Beatmaker 3 versus machine. I don't know, but if it was for portability, I could kind of understand that a little bit or whatever. But true machine heads, I think the true machine heads appreciate this more than people who were looking for like the next best thing, or I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. But if I never get the Machine Plus, I'm still satisfied with what I have now, because I'm so used to it, and it works great. It fits the workflow, and that's basically what the Machine Plus is. The Machine Plus is the same exact layout, the form factor, and all of that. So if we take a look at it for a second, let me switch my view here. So we take a look at it. This is the machine. Everything is the same. Now the only difference here is let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Now what's cool about this is that it comes with its own memory. You have what is it? I saw a card slot on the side. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can make that out, but right here on the side, you can put a SD card here for whatever. Now, my thoughts on that, I don't know how I feel about that, but if you think about it, because I'm just thinking, like, I'm used to plugging in like 3 terabyte, 4 terabyte drives to my computer, but this is a standalone. You don't really need the full expansion. If you understand what I'm saying, when I saw this, the image or whatever, I thought the USB ports, these two are, which is cool by the way, but I thought that those were a way to plug in a external drive, and I can really do my thing on it by itself. Or maybe you have an option to change that, or maybe that will come in a future update where you can plug in something like a hard drive of a bigger capacity where you can get to all your instruments that you have, and you can do it like that. But for right now, I think that these ports are just designed to plug in your keyboard. So if you want a external keyboard, plug straight in and you could do your thing from there. But just looking at it, this port right here, the power right here, it locks in. That's really cool, which means you can't make the accident of pulling it out by mistake. Now, my other question would be, if that's the case, then could I use another type of power? You know what I mean? Like the power cable that came with the MK3, could I plug this in instead? Because what I do a lot, sometimes I'll unplug units, and a lot of them share the same type of plug, and I'll mismatch plugs because all of them use the same thing. I wonder if I can attach something that doesn't have the lock to it and it will still work. I'm pretty sure it would. So maybe this plug right here is designed in a way where it talks to the locking mechanism, the design or whatever, but you still have the option to plug it in. Just like a USB 3 or USB 2, the way those are designed. So if you have a USB 3 unit, like a hard drive or something like that, is designed a certain way where it has this extra piece that makes it a USB 3, but you can still put in a USB 2 port or a plug into it, and it will work. It will work, it's the same. It's just the matter of speed. But just looking at the back of it, it's the same. Everything is the same. Nothing changed. These are all the same ports. The only thing different here is the USB A that's added on here. And I'm looking at this USB here, this port right here. I can't really make it out. I wonder if that's a regular standard USB port or if that's 3.0. It looked like it might be 3.0. I'm not really sure. But the cool thing about this is that they are making expansions right now that is made for this portable mobile situation here. And then you can also plug this thing into your computer and do what you do with the regular MK3 or any other models that you may have. So that's kind of cool. So right now, here are the expansions. It's limited right now because everything is new. So you just have these expansions. So I'm pretty sure in the future, more and more expansions will be made available. It's almost like the what is it? It's almost like Maschine, the iOS version for your iPhone or iPad. You know what I mean? Like the different expansions in those, it comes limited. It's not the full expansion because it's optimized for mobile use. So I think this is what's going on here. But like some of the plugins that I hear that you can use with this thing, which like for instance, Massive has a engine that is powerful and it can be seen as CPU intensive. So to be able to run that inside of this thing will be like it's almost like having everything you need in this thing. If you can run Massive in here, like that's remarkable. That is pretty cool. So I'm trying to get to the part where they break down the specs. I guess that wouldn't be here. So let me find the specs. Let's talk about the specs. So how you guys doing so far? Let me catch up with some of the courses while I look for the specs. You guys are lit up in here. It's like 50 of you guys. So since it's about 50 you guys in here, I like thumbs up from everybody. Let's heighten up the thumbs up on the video. And of course, if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel as I will uncover more of this. But right now we're looking for the specs. Specification. It's the next page over. Duh. All right, so of course this thing works. It still works with your Mac computer. It still works with Windows. Everything is the same. It's just a sweeter version. So it only supports 64-bit only. No, that's the Windows. you have to have 64. So it only supports 64-bit. That's what that is. All right. So that's okay. So that is a 2.0. Okay, that answered my question because I was looking at the picture like, okay, so what is that? All right, so 9 gigs of free space for the machine software and machine library, 24 gig free space disk for Machine Plus selection. All right, supports, it's a standalone unit VST2. Here I go. I just told y'all about everything y'all want. Y'all always want something when I would definitely like to see the VST3, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm pretty sure that everything is optimized to do what it needs to do, so I'm not tripping on that. VST3 is just a newer VST protocol that allows things to work faster. Your plugins to work faster and much better in my case. But anyway, whatever. That's not even important. I don't even know why I even said that. But here we go. You definitely have to. Oh, one thing I seen in the video I thought was cool is that this thing supports wireless, so you can wirelessly remote. I guess you can wireless let me pause there. I don't know if you can do that, but I do know that it connects to the network. It connects to your Wi-Fi, which allows you to download stuff from your native access account. So any expansions or whatnot, you can download straight from there without needing a computer. You know, so things like that. If we're talking about technology, I think that is pretty cool. You can also wirelessly send your projects to your computer to complete them further. You know what I mean? You can like move files around. Once you plug it in, you can move files around from the internal hard drive into your system and pull up Machine and continue working, which is pretty cool. So it's almost like the iOS version. So when you make something on your iPad or iPhone, you can like you save it and it will automatically save itself to your iTunes or your iCloud account, and then you have to pull up iTunes in order to pull those projects down. But right here, it's just, you know, from the machine straight to your computer. All right, so yeah, so we kind of like covered that already. Machine software, factory library. Yep. So these are the things that you could do with Machine even right now at the MK3 level. But of course with extra stuff. Quad core. The CPU is quad core and it supports 4 gigabyte RAM for fast seamless creation. And all this other stuff, it's like standard stuff, like the sample rate, the bit rate. It's like stuff you can do in your computer, which is pretty cool. It supports up to 96 kilohertz, the controller mode. And I'm just trying to point out stuff that's obvious. Like this stuff here, it's already in the MK3. Like you can use this as an interface. You know, I've done that a few times. The color display, absolutely, that's the same. Okay, so the SD card right here, if you guys remember me talking about that a few seconds ago, I don't know if it comes with the SD card or not, but the SD card here, it says 64 gigs, and it says that it supports up to 1 terabyte. So if you can find an SD card that supports up to 1 terabyte, I think that might be really cool. Now, I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about putting a lot of stuff on a SD card like that. But I mean, again, technology is where it is. Technology has proven itself to work and be far advanced. So I'm just looking at this stuff to Like all of this stuff, it looks the same. Breaking down the different ports here. All right, so let's look at the comments. I don't want to leave y'all out. I was just kind of going through some stuff right quick. All right, so you said the only difference is the SD card on the outside and USB ports. Other than people forgetting the MK3 is a standalone too. You make a valid point there. That's a valid point, and that's kind of where I was coming from. I have the MK3. I use it as a standalone. The only difference is that it plugs into the computer. But a lot of people are coming from the standpoint of like not needing a computer. But again, it's going to boil down to your workflow. That's the whole point here. If you are always mobile and you want, you know what I'm saying, if you wanted to like X out the computer, then this is what this is. You don't need the computer. Obviously, you're not able to use your full library with this thing, and I'm pretty sure that availability will come pretty soon. But right now, everything, all of the expansion packs right now is being optimized to do mobile with this thing. So for me, that's not a big deal because I can use the SD card slot to like add my packs that I have on my computer, like wave files, drums, kicks, hi-hats, samples here and there. Like I never use the entire library, the entire Native Instrument library anyway. You know what I'm saying? I never use entire. Each song is different. I'll go in and do different things using different instruments or whatever, but I'm not using all of them at once. And some of the plugs, some of the instruments I've never used, or maybe used like one time when I first got it and just never went back in there. So when you think about it, it's not that big. It's not that big of a deal, because I have like the collector's editions with all of the plugs. So it's, when you think about it, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. You just use like just tug along with you that the samples and different things that you're using or that you always use, like your favorite stuff, and then you could do your thing. So I think that's the whole point. Who is this for? It's for anybody who wants it. I think it's for the person. I'm being very broad, I guess, but it's for the person who's been asking about mobility. It would be for that person. You know what I'm saying? I can't really break down and say, okay, this is for beginners, or this is for. It's definitely for the machine heads. It's definitely for the person. It will probably be for the person who loved machine, but because they wasn't portable, they switched to something else like the NPC or something like that, and now they looking or lurking, or the better word would be looking. Now they looking, and they like, oh snap, man, and having those regrets that they spent money using the NPC and probably didn't even like the NPC. And I'm not bashing NPC users or that community. That's not what I'm doing here. But I'm just saying, like, I'm talking about people who use the machine and switch to the NPC because of the portability or whatever. And, because that, most of the machine units are standalone and it comes with batteries. Some of them, the NPC one doesn't come with a battery because of how small it is. And, a lot of people were like complaining about that, but there was a fix for that. Just buy a portable battery, you know what I'm saying? Lug that around with you. And these things are fairly small. Like this one is obviously not what you would use. Maybe it can. I think this one is I forgot how big the capacity is, but I can charge my iPhone up. Like I can get a good 5 to 7 charges, full charges off of it. You know what I mean? and it works fine. It's actually it's powering my camera now as I stream live, and yeah, I mean, it's a great portable solution, and it's very small. I can put this in my backpack. They come in all forms and sizes or whatever. And if you lug something like this around with you, then you have your portable machine. It comes with a battery. There you go. Now you got, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to, give you guys some helpful tips and kind of help you out. Everybody crying about it not coming with a battery. Well, just buy a external battery, and there you have it. Shit, that's a decent laptop. I wonder if you was talking about the one that I showed on the picture. But anyway, the only difference. Okay, let me look at it. Look at these questions. Said I was close to chopping the MPC one, but the machine workflow was better. That's what's up. I'm good without the battery. Did I see it correctly? Maschine Standalone with the yes, it is. Well, there's a limited is limited right now. You know what I mean? Like everything has to be optimized to work best on a unit like this, because this computer right here has, of course, a bigger capacity. You could do more on a computer, and you got to think about the form factor of the machine. Like, what all can you stick in a machine of this size? You know what I'm saying? And all that you could do, and the power that's needed to, processing and all that type of thing. And keep in mind, guys, this is a brand new territory for Native Instruments. This is brand new territory. And so things are not going to be perfect at the first model. I'm pretty sure when the next model comes out, it will be totally better. And, there will be, I'll say one thing with Maschine. Well, most of the products that I've seen come out, and it's probably like, I'll say a high, maybe 85% of the products, and this is my opinion, and this is according to my workflow, 85% of their products had improvements each time they release, right? Each time they release. I say 85% because I'm not that big of a huge fan of the micro versions, because that's not my workflow. I feel like the micro versions are too small for me. I like the full on. I'm used to everything, and I feel like ever since the Mark 1 version, the unit was small enough to be mobile anyway. So when they made the micro, it was like, ooh, that's too small. That wouldn't work for me. That would be too much like dibbling and dabbling and trying to figure out different things just because it's smaller. Now, I have lugged around the micro version. I have that in my backpack, to bang out quick things, but I use the computer because the little screen on there is very small, and I use it sometimes or whatever, but I usually use the computer for it. You know what I mean? Now the micro Mark 1 version, that screen on there was a lot bigger, and that was much cooler. I never owned one. I had a buddy who owned one, but again, that wasn't my workflow. But all of the machines except the Studio has always been like mobile size or whatever. I guess I could bump my percentage up to 90%. Right? Because it was only the machine, the micro, that I really didn't care too much for. And that's just me. But everything else Native Instruments do has always climbed up the ladder as far as like the quality and design ideas and whatnot. So I can only expect the next unit will be even better or whatever. But we're not talking about the next unit. This one ain't even came out yet. So let me backtrack. But that's what's up, Preppy, that you see the value in this unit. You know, that seems to be a lot of people's issue is the battery. I think it stops. I think it stops the desire to want to integrate to your dog too. And okay, yeah. So this is a great point right here. I mean, again, it's gonna just depend on who you are and what you're trying to do, what you're trying to achieve. You may be okay with doing everything on a mobile device, a portable device that don't need that connection to a computer, and you pretty much great. That's cool. I think Native Instruments has stepped into a place where they want to reclaim their household name. You know what I'm saying? They saw people leaving and not wanting to, you know, I think they saw that. They see it, you know, I know they lurk around on my videos sometimes and other people's videos and or people make videos about their frustrations or whatnot. Like I make frustrated videos with personas sometimes. They see that stuff and they know what's going on. They knew it was time to do this a long time ago. But I think the thing was having the resources, or not even the resources, just having everything in place in order to do it properly. That's what I think. You know, so if you're gonna rush it, then that right there, I think rushing something is bad business. I don't know how y'all feel about this. Do y'all feel like this was rushed because everybody was complaining? I think that it was well thought out. It makes sense. The form factor that it's in now is the same exact machine. It's just now in a portable design in terms of like adding a wireless card to it where you can like send stuff. I wonder if I can send beats to my phone. Now that was something I've always wanted. That would be cool. Now it having that wireless capability, I wonder if I can sync it and just send the finished track to my phone. I don't know that. I'll have to play with it and see what's up. But right now, from what I've saw, is that it wirelessly sync to the network that gives you that ability to download and pull expansions from your account. And to your point that you made earlier, what was that? I think this was the ski jump to that point right there that you made. I think that I know for a fact this is what they said. This is also how you upgrade your firmware or any updates to the unit, which is cool. That's really cool. So you don't have to plug to the computer at no point whatsoever. Not even to update the firmware on the thing. That's crazy. So I wonder if it's one of those things where it's a notification that pops and say, hey, you have an update. Or if it's one of those where you have to search for it and see if there's an update available. I don't know how that works, but it's cool that you're able to do that and you don't have to connect it to your computer. Yeah, absolutely. And even I feel like even if Massive wasn't a part of it, which is great by the way, if as long as Contact was included in this concept, that right there, because you know Contact holds all your instruments. That right there is like that's major to me because that's the way that I like to work. I like using the Contact for everything, even beyond using Machine. If I'm not using Machine, I'm always using Contact. Am I going to update? Probably. probably just so I could talk about it on YouTube, help you guys out. That would be interesting to see right there if they was to do this to the MK2. And by MK2, I'm thinking you talking about the complete control. Now, here's the thing with that. Because the machine is portable, you can plug your MK2 up to it. There's those USB ports on the back. So it kind of makes it mobile. It makes it mobile at that point. So I mean, that would be an interesting concept. I really couldn't see that happening, but who knows? Who knows? That could be a cool concept right there. Okay, boogie libraries. Yeah, great point. How could it be a standalone with libraries being that big? Well, that was a point I hit on earlier, where right now it comes with limited expansions, meaning that they have to optimize all of the expansions to fit this new workflow mobile. So, which means that you're not going to have access to your full library. In order to get the access to your full library, guys, you can also connect this to your computer and use it like the MK3, right? That's the caveat right there. You can use it to your, with, like you would use your MK3, but you can pull this out and use it as standalone. So it's like having the best of both worlds, or best of three worlds, because for a long time for me, the reason why I bought this machine like years ago was because it came with its own application with, machine software. That means it makes it powerful. Use it as a plug-in and a DAW. What? That's crazy. And then you can use it as a MIDI controller, using with anything else you want to use besides the machine, right? Now it's portable. So that's like that's awesome. That's awesome. From the research I've done on a producer power solution, the power specs don't go well with USB based power banks. The obvious solution already available would be a producer AC device. That's a great point. I appreciate you for posting that. I appreciate that. And I'm guessing that comes from experience. You probably have the MPC, or like you say, you did research. That's great. We need that type of information. So I appreciate you, putting that out there. Why so expensive? That's a question that I don't know why is that expensive. But if you look at the specs on this thing, and like what it does, like it's coming out as a quad core processor. That's the first thing. And I don't know, did I read the speed of the, I don't know if I passed that information up. I didn't read the speed of the processor. Yeah, maybe I missed it, or maybe it's not on here. I don't know. But you guys can go to the link. You can go to nativeinstruments.com and look at the specs for yourself. But in terms of processing power, yeah, it's a quad core processor, but it doesn't really specify. It's a 4 gig dual channel DDR3L RAM. I'm not really sure what that means. But the fact that it comes with a quad core processor, I think that's what you're paying for. It's the processing speed and some other things, of course. But that right there, in terms of computer, you know, I've seen, like when I was searching for computers, that was something I look at. I bought a 6 core. My Mac is a 6 core. This one is I think this one's the 8 core. I can't remember. But most computers are still at quad cores. So and it's always like you can the fact that you can plug in a hard drive or SD card in there. You know what I'm saying? Like different things like that. It's got Wi-Fi link enable. What is it? Wi-Fi and link enable for wireless, installing and updating products, collaborating with others, and syncing with other gear. So that link feature, I don't know if I talked about it before, but you can link this to other people with the link, with that link feature, and you can wirelessly collaborate with each other. So just imagine the possibilities of using this on a live show whenever we get to that point, right? You know, maybe you guys can go live, you know, hit up a buddy, you know, go to his house or something like that. That's probably as live as gonna get right now, since, you know, we still in this situation worldwide. But as long as other products have that link capability, you can wirelessly sync. And while I was talking earlier, I'm just remembering some stuff I said just now. Reading that statement right there gives me the thought that maybe you can send finished tracks to your phone or something like that. That would be an interesting that would be a very interesting journey to discover that. Interesting discovery. So once I get my hands on it, I'll definitely like explore that. So yeah, I mean, and the fact that you can, like, if you guys know the native instruments, you know, the workflow, the fact that you can do all of that without being plugged into a computer. I don't know if that suffices the price, but just like there, I'm sure there's different things. There's different aspects to this as to why the price. You got to look at like the components as to, you know, how to make this, you know, making this unit, the pieces that they had to get, where they went. And again, it's almost like Apple. If you guys remember Apple, you know, the price of these phones that we use every day, you know, back in the day, I think they were like more expensive, or maybe they're the same. But with Apple, these phones, they use different components in here that are made by other people, which affects the price of the unit. So just over the years owning iPhones, I know the price changed because they were able to find other people who was able to produce a certain type of quality at a cheaper rate, and it brought down the prices of these phones. So you know, in terms of the price, you know, I don't know all of the details as to what everything else costs or whatever, but this thing is wireless. That right there alone is, I know, like, that's like, oh, okay. You know, it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, you never have to connect to a computer. All you have to do is connect to your wireless network and pull down stuff from. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I almost saw a keyboard on. I could be wrong. I wonder if you can plug in a keyboard and just start typing stuff. That would be an interesting explore for me as well. I don't know. I'm only like, as I'm flowing, I'm just thinking like, I wonder if it could do this. I wonder if it could do that. So, but you know, of course, when they release videos like this, and they never really tell you everything that it does until you get it in your hands and you start exploring it for yourself and be like, oh wow, they could do this, could do that, that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. I could definitely see that coming. Like a cloud storage coming. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Now that you say that, I wonder how that will work with sounds.com. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that there's some type of, because think about it, guys. Just think about it. Splice.com is a sound sample site that you can subscribe to and download stuff from their site. They also have an app. They also have an app that you can download to your computer. And once you go to the website and you download stuff, it updates itself on that app, which means that everything is on your computer, but the app handles the browsing, the the categorizing and that type of thing, the search, whatever. It's like its own browser, right? It also has cloud storage attached to it, which means that your projects can be backed up using that thing. And I've seen that and I've talked about that before. It backs up storage, your sessions, right? So I will only imagine in the near coming future that Native Instruments probably will do something on that line. There will be something similar to that. They already got sounds.com. I wonder, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. That will definitely be cool. That's very interesting. But that was a good one though. You know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Um, you can only do what you can. You can only do with what you have. You know what I'm saying? Um, Native Instruments obviously didn't work fast enough for you, so you moved on. You've invested in something else, and it works for you. If that thing works for you, then let it be. You know what I'm saying? Um, I remember a time, and it's still happening, but like NPC is still a hot topic. They still kind of sort of on top of the world. They stole machine clout, so to speak, right? With all of the devices that they and that's kind of what you guys are doing. Y'all doing this comparison thing. A lot of you guys moved and went to NPC. The competition is real right now. You know what I mean? They trying to get they Native Instruments is trying to capture their old users back, and because that's what everybody was looking for this day, right? But I'll admit, all ever since Akai released their live unit, the one that comes with the battery, I was eyeballing that thing like that's pretty dope. That's nice. I like that, and then the fact that it has touchscreen on there, I can touch everything, and it has battery in there, and it has all of these things on the back of it. I can record vocals in here. I can do whatever I want. I can export. I can put a car expansion. I think you can put a car expansion. I might be wrong, but it had the headphone jack that you could put in there, and you can plug it up to speakers, and you can plug other devices in there. And it was a pretty dope unit. I'll say like that to me was like one of the best beat making devices that I've seen in a long time, because that thing does everything. You don't need to be connected to a computer, right? I'm talking about the NPC Live. But I was never compelled to switch over and buy that unit. I had a buddy who owns it, and he brought it over and showed it to me, and I played around with it, and I would say it was very cool, but I didn't feel compelled to buy it because my workflow is stuck here using the machine. as the way that I've been doing for many years. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where I am with it. Is to me, it's like when you're a music producer, at some point you have to like stop searching for all of the the glamour, the gold, and when they shine this toy, the flashy toy over here, you can't jump at it every time somebody show you a shiny toy. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna always be chasing. It's like chasing your first. Well, I ain't gonna say that, but you always gonna be chasing for the newest device, the hottest and greatest thing that's out there on the market. And before you know it, you're gonna have a studio filled with stuff that you don't even use, and you would have wasted so much money buying all of these things you don't need and not being productive at all, because you're the only thing that you're doing is chasing the next flashy toy. You know what I'm saying? And I will admit, I have a lot of nice flashy toys, but most of it is because companies send it to me and I'll do a review on it, and I end up keeping it and using it as part of my workflow. The machine, however, I bought my first unit. I bought the Maschine Studio, and there's a lot of things I bought. I bought Complete 8, Complete 9, and then they got to a point where Native Instruments started sending me this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, fortunate for me, I have these things, some of these things, and I didn't have to pay for them because I'm required to do reviews or talk about it, that type of thing. But the NPC, I didn't feel compelled to buy it, even if I had the money, which I do. I have the money to buy the Maschine 1 or the Live, but I just don't feel compelled to buy it. That's just not where I am in my production. I like the Maschine. That's my thing. I watch videos. I watch people make cool beats and whatnot, and it's like that's great. That's cool. I like what he's able to do, and then I go back to what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? That's the Maschine is where it is for me. That's just my workflow. And I'm gonna tell y'all this: Ableton Live. I bought Ableton Live, right? And I don't use it as much as I would like to use it because I still use Studio One and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I have a lot of projects that's attached to Studio One, and so it keeps me in Studio One. But I have the Ableton Live, and it definitely helps to have Ableton Live because it introduced a different workflow, and it's pretty cool. I like it, but I did not switch to it per se. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like that other gentleman that said, like, man, I spent money on this, and don't even, man, I should have never did. I should just been patient. But I mean, in my case, I mean, it was cool. For me, I think purchasing Ableton Live was like a really great investment. So I don't regret it. You know what I'm saying? I don't regret it, but I don't use it as much as I would like to. I use it. I still use it. I make beats off of it, but I'll probably touch, not probably, because that would imply that maybe, okay, it's a fact that I use a Maschine way more than the Ableton Live. I still use a Maschine. The Maschine is still dope to me. And then of course I had this Maschine Jam in the background. I'm still using it. I would like to see them update that. That would be really dope to see them update that. Because right now, the Maschine Jam still kind of follows the old design. Maybe not. Maybe they look the same for the most part. But I mean, the Maschine Jam does what it does. I still use it. That's why I'm sitting up here. I make stuff really fast with it, using it in conjunction with Maschine. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is. But I would love to see if they would do something to the Maschine Jam. I don't have that information, so I couldn't really tell y'all. Let me jump around some of these questions. Boy Wonder, what's up? I skipped the MPC standalone, stuck with the machine, the MPC Touch. Been saving a ton of money on hardware. That's what's up. That's what's up. They will probably send you the MK3 Plus. Yeah. I'm figuring it out. Standalone trend will rubber band back to the controllerism. It's the natural course. Absolutely. That I think that has been the core behind Native Instruments, is using the controller to do what you got to do. That has always been, and for those of you that use Maschine know that the only thing there is that you have to put USB to your computer, and your computer connects to your hard drive that holds your entire library, right? Like, I'm almost at 3 terabyte worth of stuff from Native Instruments. You know what I mean? This hard drive is essentially dedicated to Native Instruments, right? So I probably just should go ahead and just label it Native Instruments, you know, because that's the majority of the stuff that's on here, right? But what was I gonna say? But the controllers, that's what I was gonna say. The controller, I'm doing stuff on the machine all the time, and the screen will shut off itself because I haven't touched the screen in a while, and I could do all of that I need to do in the machine standalone because it has 2 screens on there, and I can see everything and I can understand everything, and I don't need the computer. It's just the fact that it's connected because it's connected with the resources where the sounds are coming from, right? So at that, I think that has always been the core behind, you know, machines. But now it's a standalone where you don't have to be connected at all. Like, realistically, like, you can actually walk away, go somewhere else, and don't have to have access to your computer. All you need is Wi-Fi. So that's like another level of standalone, I guess. But yeah, I appreciate that though. That's like next level thinking right there. See, we right here with it. See, a lot of people don't understand that. Only the real machine users understand that the machine has always been standalone. It's just that, you know, cutting the cord, the actual connection to the computer, you know. And I think that okay, that's a good point, and that will be the reason why the micro is somewhere back here. Yeah, this micro. That's the reason why this micro was designed with a very small screen right here, because most people is using the computer anyway. So they cut out the screen, made it very small, because the feedback from the people was that they don't really use the machine, you know, the screen, or for the micro, that is. Anyway, for those people who are ever interested in this, they never look at the screen. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why I didn't really care for this, because I need the screens. So I'm always on my MK3 doing stuff because of the screens. And therefore, I don't really need the computer to do what I got to do using the MK3, right? So that's, Native Instruments has already been there. They have already been there, and I think that was the whole point. So, yeah. But a lot of people don't see it that way, because it's like they physically looking at the cords, that's the USB connection. Yeah, it's crazy. The Machine Plus kind of fails without the battery. If I have to plug in something, it's going to put. That's what I mean. You know it, and I ain't knocking anybody for their response. That's everybody has an opinion. You have a right to it. Certain people don't, and I'm saying that I'm I'm saying that on purpose because certain people will say things and there's no, like you don't have a right to your opinion because you just sound crazy. I'm joking for the most part, but I get comments on my videos sometimes of people who try to make a point and they don't have a point. They just make themselves sound stupid. And so that I'm kind of addressing that, I guess, but whatever. In that case, they don't have a right to their opinion. But that's great though. I mean, it just depends on how you look at it. You know, it's all about how you look at it. See, Moshe said there's a solution. There's a solution to this problem that we are talking about right now. You can get a laptop power bank. There was a gentleman earlier that said something similar to that, but it wasn't a laptop power bank. It was some type of AC unit. But I mean, it could be the same. I don't know. But that's a great point, and that was actually a point I made even before then. I had pointed this out where like I have this. This is obviously not a laptop power bank, but that my whole point about this is that you can buy a portable power bank. You know what I mean? That was the whole point of me bringing that up. So if you want that portable battery, you just have to buy the appropriate one that can obviously support this type of device. You know what I'm saying? But like, and I know it's out there. I've never bought one because I never really, actually I have one, but it actually is one of those power banks that can jumpstart my car. That thing is super powerful. It's like a portable battery joint, and I can juice my laptop off of that as well. So I guess I could use that with the MK3, and I'll have to test that out. So that'll be another nice explore for me as well. So once I get it in my hand, I can show y'all like, here's a solution right here, guys. You can use this thing and be good. You know, I don't know why people don't see things like that. Like, I don't know. Yeah, the extra cost sucks. It does, because this unit is already at $1,400, probably $1,500 after taxes and shipping, right? You know, but if you're going to spend that type of money for this because you feel like you need it, you might as well spend like an extra $100 to get a portable battery. You are already there, right? It only makes sense if that's what you're going for. So, and by the way, you guys that want to go ahead and pre-order this thing, the link is in the description right now, so you can actually click on that link, and it allow you to make your pre-order. That link is definitely a affiliate link, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. It just helps supports me on the channel, since I'm covering stuff like this for free. I'm talking to you guys, answering questions. So if you are interested in pre-ordering that thing, just go to the link in the description. I would really appreciate that. And I'm not even really making money off of that. You know how it goes. These little affiliate links, they don't give you no money. But I mean, it's something. I'm very appreciative to everything that I get. Appreciate that. Absolutely. That's a good point you brought up. Appreciate the super chat. That's what's up. Real talk. Now that's a good point. That's a good point. We kind of touched on that. I guess I would have to look up the NPC one and do some study on that unit. I don't own one. I'm not really a Kai fan. I started out on Kai products, but that was way before we went into this digital world that we're in now. I used to use the NPC. I started out using NPCs. I used probably all of their models except for the 1000. I've used the 2000, NPC 2000, NPC 3000. I used the 4000, the 5000. I didn't hit the 2500. The 2500 is what I wanted to get because it was like a hybrid between the 2000 and the 5000, I think. And then when the 1000 came out, I thought it was a joke because how small it was. But that's where I stopped. When I was looking for digital computer type stuff using Logic at that time, that's when I bought my first machine because Akai. Now, if the Renaissance was available then, I probably would have went with the Renaissance because I know with the Renaissance and like the regular standalone products, those files talk, and I could have easily moved my files over and been doing the same thing, rocking out with that. You know what I mean? And right now I would be talking a different tune. I would have been like, everybody buy the NPC 1 because it's dope. But unfortunately, Akai was not up to speed in terms of that. It was Machine that was available. They was doing something different, and I stuck with that. And years and years down the line, here we are. We still talking about Machine. Well, yeah, I appreciate that super chat though. Yeah, I kind of figured what you would. Somewhere in my mind, I kind of knew that's what you was getting at, the power bank solution. Yeah, just buy a power bank, guys. And then hey, problem solved. Maybe I could look up a power bank that supports, and I'll tell y'all about it or something like that. I don't know. Former known as Respect. Okay. Well, what's good? I told you a while back the new Machine version was coming along with the software update now. You can put some drum pads. Yeah, absolutely. I think I remember you saying that. There was a couple of people who mentioned that, and when you guys mentioned that, I couldn't say nothing. So it wasn't that I didn't know. I just couldn't talk about it. Yeah, you guys know how it is. You sign an agreement, you can't talk about it until it's released. So the Machine Machine Plus, I knew about it for a while. I just couldn't talk about it. I couldn't say not one word. Also with the Atom SQ and Studio 1.5 and those things, I knew about that stuff for a while. I just could not talk about it. I just couldn't. I wanted to so bad. I'd be like, man, only if they knew what was coming. But yeah. So we're here. We're finally here. You can pre-order, like I say, in the description. Visit that link. It's an affiliate link. I gotta let y'all know that by law. Support your boy. It's gonna take you to the Native Instrument website anyway, but I appreciate that. Yeah, I agree. Seems like Akai and the Machine are paying attention to users that just want the controller mode, improve the software, and give us good, affordable hardware and controller. Absolutely. And again, addressing this question, it just depends on who you are. Whoever you are, the person that this intrigues. Obviously, this is this is for you. This is but everybody may not see the value of what's going on here, and that's totally fine. The MK3 right now is I think 600, 700, one of those, and you can do everything you've been doing before. Just the Machine Plus is for the people who wants that portability, and that's the main thing. So let's take a look at the machine selection here. That's something we didn't even look at yet. So just looking at some of the artwork here, curate a section of legendary synth sample instruments, studio effects, and expansions that bring the noise to Machine Plus. And you guys can see this for yourself, but we just, looking at it. So this is what's going on, and this looks like the old machine, but it says Machine Plus up here. So let's look at it. Actually, this is the new one because it's this gray outline. The synths. So Massive is included, FM8 is included, and these are powerful synth engines, guys. These are like your CPU intensive stuff. So that means machine can now handle these things a lot better. Prism, Monarch, Reactor, Contact, Retro Machines. Your different effects here. And these are the expansions right now. I believe that is supported currently. And again, they are making these plugins to be optimized with this portable solution here. All right, run your drum sense here. I mean, it does pretty much everything it was doing before. Like all of the stuff is what you could do now. I use these plugs all the time, the regular expansion stuff. So this is great. So yeah, the machine is very powerful in what you can do, even at the portable. There's not a lot on this page because we're just getting started. In the future, this page will be full with a lot of other things that you can do. But the big question is this price. How does this price suffice? These things that are sort of familiar to us already. Like we could do this all right now. In terms of, so to some of you guys, it look like it's limited. Like we're gonna spend a lot of money on this, and you can't do everything that you could do before. Yeah, you could do everything you could do before. Just imagine the machine you have now on steroids, or like a better version of what it does now. And that's what you be paying for. Is you paying for the CPU processing power that's built inside of this thing in order for it to do what it does as a standalone unit, right? I can already hear some of you guys right now. I'm waiting to Black Friday. To get that joint. I mean, it is what it is. You could do that, or you can wait a year down the line when the price come down. I don't know, but that's where we are right now. Here's a compare page. Let's see. This is where we should have been a long time ago. So this is the Machine 2. Oh, we are currently in Machine 2, the software. Okay, so this is the Plus and this is the MK3. So let's compare. Let's look at some of the stuff here. So the full library, the selection stuff comes with more than the regular. So you get 24 gigs more than the regular like if you bought the MK3, you got only 8 gigs to start out with. Now you get 24 gigs to start out with. This is just the library it comes with. This one is standalone, this one is not. So the Plus wins there. The controller mode, NKS instruments and effects, expansion samples and loops from sounds.com and 30 party. I'm looking at this and it doesn't have anything here. So that answered my question I had earlier. So that means I can pull in sounds.com stuff I downloaded there, and it will sync. It makes sense, but like right now, this one can do it, but it's attached to your computer, right? It downloads to the hard drive the hard drive location you set it to, but you're telling me that I can pull this stuff in on the actual unit itself because it has a hard drive built in. That's cool. I like that. You say who's this for, right? That was a question that was asked earlier. So the producers and performers who want an immersed standalone experience and combines high quality sounds with iconic machine workflow, great DAW-less studio setups, hardware only live setups, and focused sampling, sequence, and creation. So that's kind of like what I said earlier, but um, it's for the person who wants that mobile experience. They want to use a thing and not have to lug around a computer. So yeah, that's who it's great for. In terms of the screens it's pretty much the same size. I think it would be the same resolution if I'm not mistaken. All of this information right here seems to be the same. The pads are still those big, nice pads. I like that. This one is still the same 8 times touch sensitive knobs. So you still have those touch sensitive encoders on here that I really really like. They introduced that into I think it was Machine Studio. It might be on a Mark One. I don't know because I haven't used a Mark One in a long time. But I like that. I use that feature a lot. Just touching the knobs, the hardware style. Yeah, pretty much the same form factor. And that's basically what that's saying right there. Power needs PSU includes the PSU, right? And yep, pretty much the same, but this is standalone, obviously. All this is the same. The foot switch is the same. All this information is the same. DAW integration. Whoa. Check that out here, guys. See now that right there. The day that I see Persona Studio One in here, and it also says it for here, Persona Studio One. Now that's interesting because I'm still not able to get my current machine to work like it this would in like Logic or something like that. But I will have to go and explore this. I would say that this is probably an update. Maybe this is something they did under the hood. I still had to go through like those processes, trying to make it. Yeah, I need to explore that. That's huge. That's crazy. Cause Personas Studio One was never a part of this list. It was like everything other than that. All right, so yeah, we gotta explore that definitely. Everything else it looks the same. Yeah. Let's talk about weight. I guess the width. Oh, there is no weight. They're not telling us how heavy it is, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty heavy because now you have processor cords in here, hard drive space in here. So I would imagine this unit is a little bit heavier than the regular unit. So you guys got to be prepared for that as well. So yeah, do I think this is a good buy? Again, it depends on you, the workflow, who you are and how you would use this, how you would include this in your workflow. But I think it's a good buy when we talking about the unit, like buying the unit. The price, however, I think is pretty up there. I I myself personally would not buy this unit at the price point. That's just me because I already have an MK3. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming from that aspect. I already have the MK3, so I wouldn't spend $1,400 just to get a standalone. Now, if I was wanting to be mobile with it, then I would spend that money. I think it's worth it to spend that money to be mobile with something like this. But again, you have to be like a true Native Instrument fan, a fanboy to like spend that type of money or whatever, or maybe not. Maybe you somebody new, you want to get into the workflow and you think that this is a great price for what you're able to do because um Machine Plus, this is the first one that's able to be portable, like the other models are not. So, but that's just my opinion. Um, I don't really move around a lot, especially right now. But I mean, you guys are different. Everybody has a different workflow. But will I be getting this? Yeah, I will. I don't need it, but I will. I will get it because I think it's really cool. And you guys already know where I stand as far as like doing videos on it. Like that's kind of like my point of getting it. So you guys, the ones that's gonna pre-order this, I show you guys how this stuff goes and how it works. That's that type of thing. So that's what's going on there. All right, so let's catch up with some more of these questions. You guys are coming in still hot. It's like 60 people watching. I appreciate the thumbs up. If you are watching this video and you enjoying yourself, please thumbs up on this video. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please feel free to subscribe here because we are talking about these type of things all the time. Um, it's probably a niche community or whatever, but this is everything music production. We're talking about like music production tips, tricks all the time here. That's what we do. I am the guy who does a lot of videos using Studio One, and I usually use Maschine as a plugin in Studio One. So that's what this channel is about. And then sometimes I'll do Maschine videos specific to that, showing you guys tip tricks, especially with the new software updates that's coming pretty soon. I will be covering that as well, showing you guys how to do things and be creative, using the Maschine um, as a creative tool or whatever. And of course, all of this stuff is just creative tools that I use. I love using this stuff. It helps me make music. And it's not only just a YouTube thing for me. I actually make projects. I work with several artists. I work with several companies. I I have music placements, and like it's pretty cool to have devices like this that I use. See, and that was the whole point I was making earlier. Like I bought this product. This particular unit I didn't, but I bought this starting out, and I've evolved into being sufficient in the workflow or whatever. And Native Instruments saw that, and they just supplied me with the tools to help me make more videos, right? So that's kind of how this all evolved. And so now, um, a lot of projects that I'm doing, I'm also sharing it with you guys as well. So I will be working on real projects, but I'll go live and show you guys what I'm doing using these devices that I have available to me to just show you guys how it works. So it can help you make decisions on your purchasing endeavors. Should you buy one? Should you not? Like, how would you use that for this, and that, or whatever? Um, yeah. So that's kind of where I am with this. So, I'm not covering this topic because it's hot. That is very true. It is hot, but I'm covering this topic because I am a machine head. I use this stuff like for real. This is what I do, and I've been doing this for years. So that is the reason why you should subscribe, because when I uncover stuff, I will hit you guys with stuff, updates, and things that I find. So this is a lifestyle. I'm certain the third party plugin support will be a micro add-on like the App Store eventually. I think so too. That's a good point. I think so too. People are buying standalone since this ain't big money for what I appreciate. Wish I could blow that up, make it bigger. That's a great point right there. People are buying since, and I've noticed that. I've noticed that. I will tell you, I've noticed that people are buying since they still buying hardware these days, and the cost of this thing is nothing compared to what a actual synth costs. A synth hardware. People are buying hardware like plug-in, like stuff that you use as a plug-in. People are buying actual hardware these days as well. So I don't know, we're in the phase. It's like I don't know if it's a fad or whatever. Like clothes. You know how if you live long enough, stuff that you used to wear when you was a kid, and then you see it come back now that you're adult, and it's like, wow, I used to do that when I was a kid. So I think that's what's going on in the music world as well. A lot of people was doing the plug-in thing, and I think the hardware is coming back. People are buying more and more hardware now to because they going after a certain sound. They going after that warmth, that sound, that tape, whatever. And I was watching Craft Master and MG the Future. They hit that subject and they actually confirmed what I was thinking or what I've seen. There are still, and I have like other buddies like um another one of my Studio One buddies. Um, I can't believe I can't remember his name right now, but his entire studio. He's the one who was the person who put me up on a lot of hardware stuff. Just watching him do stuff like all the API units and the lunchbox units, um, going through several types of compressors and just different things like that. And I just thought it was fascinating. And he used Studio One and he goes through that stuff through the pipeline. I think that's what you call it. And yeah, my background comes. I came up in the studio where we were patching in the patch bay, and um, there's a rack full of plugins and effects, like actual effects. Effects that you find in your computer is actually a rack mount unit. It comes in there and you just press the button, and then you'll plug in a MIDI cable to it to control the presets on it. Yeah, I come from that background, the hardware. So I'm starting to see a lot of people go back to that. So when we talk about a standalone unit like this is nothing. This nothing. But again, it just depends on who you are. If you see the value, then you're going to visit that link in the description of this video. Pre-order yours right now. If not, then just watch me make videos on it. That's cool too. I appreciate it. But you got to make sure you give me a thumbs up on the video. If you're not going to buy the unit, give me thumbs up on the video anyway, and subscribe. Just watch us do what we do here. That's cool. That always works as well. Um, what's up, everybody? It's a lo- it's. I'm trying to make sure I say what's up there. Derek, what's up? What's up? DJ Sharp is here. What's good, man? What's up, Kenji? Hope I said that right. Frondis, what's up? Said to that my point, MPC 2000 XL back in 2000 or so was like 2 grand. Yeah. Exactly. And I remember those prices, yo. I remember those prices. The I had bought if you guys, we're gonna go back a little bit. So when I bought my first sequencer keyboard, it was a Triton, it was a Korg Triton Studio. That thing, let me see, that thing was at 3,400, and then I got it when the price went down to $2,400. A keyboard that only had 16 channels. That's it. Only 16. You can do whatever you got to do on 16 channels, and it, yeah, I bought it when it was $2,400. That was years ago. Years ago. Well, not that long. Probably like, I don't know. I've been doing music for a very long time. Probably like 15 years ago. I still own that thing. It still turns on like a champ, and that's why um I wasn't really like going crazy when I think when Nexus 3 came out. Everybody was talking about something versus that. It was Korg, the Triton plug-in with all the sound stuff, and I'm like, me personally, I didn't get crazy about it because I am familiar with all those sounds because I have the actual keyboard. If I want that stuff, I can go and pull up my keyboard and grab those sounds. I've already paid the $2,000, over $2,000 for that. So that's what's up. That's what's up. I got mixed views here. Like there's some people who dig what's going on, and some people like, nah, no, that yeah. But what's up, Vincent? But here's the thing, though, guys. This is what I think, and I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to lose y'all, but I'm finna say something real bold, right? Well, it's not bold; it's facts. It's not nothing to it, but this is what it is. If the Machine Plus went for $800, y'all tell me right now, will it be worth buying? But also tell me this: $800 is nothing. Like I think $800 will probably have been a very well priced. It would have been very well priced for it. But you guys are still going to find something wrong with the device. You're going to find something that's not that's going to like prohibit you from buying it, even if it was at $800. I couldn't say 600 because I can't. You can't compare this with the current model because you got to think about it. All of the things we talked about so far, you got CPU, you got quad core that's in there. You know what I'm saying? You got a card slot in there. You can plug in a USB in there. The whole portable type thing, where you don't need a computer. That got to make money somewhere. So adding those different things in there costs money, which is why it's at $1,400. But just say, for instance, that it was at $800. Some of y'all will still find something wrong with it as to why it's not worth $800. I can promise you that. Well, it don't do this. It doesn't do that, and blah 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 blah. You know, it's priced right, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I can get into that because this and that is always it's always going to be something. So right, if it was priced at $800, some people, I mean, obviously more people will probably buy it. Uh, yeah, right. So more people will get it because that's a better price point. That's a more of affordable price. That would be like a wow factor, right? Everybody will get it. But at the end of the day, Native Instruments is still in the game to make money. So they can't price it down that low at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Especially with everything that happened with them, and is they got to make money. They gotta come back up somehow. And I think that in terms of, I think if you guys understood how much all of the components that was added to it, how much all of that costs, then you probably appreciate the price a little bit better. But at the end of the day, it's all about your workflow. It's all about what you can afford. If you can't afford it, I feel like people that can't afford it will be the ones who badmouth, who will say the most crazy things about this, and that, and for that price point, it still don't come with a battery. Well, we just talked about that a few seconds ago. You just buy a battery pack, and well, not a battery pack per se. You have to buy the appropriate unit to power that device, obviously. But um, I mean, it's still a battery pack. It's portable. It's a battery pack. You know what I mean? The whole concept behind it. So check this out. I'm about to hit you with something right here, Mark. When the Machine Studio came out, guess how much it cost? Anybody can just guess. When the Machine Studio is like the version that came out before the Mark III, right? But this Machine Studio been around. Ooh, I can't even remember when it first came out. But if anybody can tell me how much the Machine Studio cost when it first came out, and it's just still a MIDI controller as the Mark III, but the Mark, yeah, I'm not gonna go. Can anybody tell me what the original price of the Machine Studio cost? Other than the fact that you bought the studio for $1,200. So you bought, okay. I kind of don't need to speak no more. I kind of proved my point a little bit. I guess I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot, but I mean, if you bought the studio at $1,200 and it's only a MIDI device that does the same as a Mark III, the Mark III just has more stuff in front of you that makes it your workflow faster. But if you bought the Machine Studio at $1,200, $200 more, you're buying CPU power that's fast enough to run massive and the other stuff they trying to do. It has wireless capability to it. It has a SD card slot on there. What else? What else we talk about today? Um, it's still at the same form factor. They didn't make it bigger. Like that's a plus. That gets a plus. It's still at the same form factor. It might be a little heavier, but it's still small. It's still portable, right? It still has the touch encoders and stuff like that. Still come with the big pads. It's still the same exact design on there. It comes with the ability to plug in a keyboard or anything like that. For $200 more, that might have been a steal. Just imagine if that came out at the same time the studio. Which one would y'all would have went for? The Machine Studio that's $1,200 is only a MIDI device, or this unit that's portable. Would you have spent $1,400 then? You know what I mean? I probably would have spent the extra $200 to get the portable unit, and it's got a touch strip on it. Like you remember this doesn't have a touch strip on it. It's really bare bones basic, but you spent $1,200 on the studio. I remember that. I remember that price because yeah, yeah. I didn't spend $1,200. I kind of got it on a deal. I had a buddy who worked at Good Time, so I got like a couple of hundred off of it. But still, I bought mine at 1,000. Okay, that's nothing, right? But it still was pretty expensive. That's my whole point. But I get where y'all coming from because the competition has ante up since then. The MPC one is here. Well, the MPC one don't have a battery either, so the MPC Live is here. right? The MPC Live has a battery in there, and you guys are doing comparison to that, and I mean, it does have touchscreen, um, but what was the price of that though? I can't remember the price of that. I don't really follow that unit like that, but the price of that was crazy, I'm sure. But but I mean, I don't know, man. It, you know, I'm not gonna lie, the price is very steep, but I like to look at factors. That's kind of who I am. I like to look at the different factors that plays part. Like you got to think about it, the different things that this thing has. Um, so it's still the same form factor, so you're familiar with that, so you don't have to learn it all over again. This is a couple of things about it but the power behind it, that's what you're paying for. You're paying for the CPU, and to put a wireless network on a unit is not cheap. It's not cheap at all. How much battery packs cost these days, guys? Like $100. Delio bought it for $1,100. Allen bought it for $1,200. Lifted bought it for $1,200. So I mean, I agree with your point. Studio was overpriced, and MK3 is a steal. My issue is the price. My issue is getting the price when I have. That's a great point. That's a great point. Let's talk about it. That's an excellent point. That's something I hit on a little earlier. That's why I didn't feel that compelled. You know what I mean? I already have the MK3. So for you guys that have the MK3, you may not see the value. This may not, because you already familiar with this. So to you it's like, this is not an upgrade. Why would I spend $1,400 to get the same exact controller that I have? You know what I'm saying? So, like psychologically, you're not gonna understand that, and that's great. That's the reason why I wouldn't upgrade, because it doesn't make sense. I could do all of the same things, but to the person who want that portability, I think that's where the price point comes in. That if you want to be mobile with it and not have to connect to a computer, then you will buy. I sound like a salesperson, but I'm on here because a lot of you guys already hit me up and was like, what's your thoughts, Ella? What are you thinking? Did you see it? Yeah, I seen it. We here. I actually wasn't going to go live on it, to be honest, but I'm like, why not? Why not? I haven't like been live in a while, so I already knew I was going to have to go and like explain. But I'm that guy that try to be. I guess that I don't know. I mean, I'm your conscience, the guy who try to make you see reality, so to speak. You know, I'm your third eye speaking to you, or I'm here to help you open up your something else in you, help you understand, like, and it may help some of you guys not make the purchase. I don't know. I don't know, because maybe you was thinking it was one thing and it's really not. And like, oh, okay, Ella explained it. I get it. Okay, it just depends. But I'm not getting on your case, Mark. I'm not. I wasn't pointing you out, putting you on blast, or putting you on the stage. That wasn't the goal there. But I was just because that's kind of what I see that topic come up often in the comment section. The price. Everybody's just talking about the price. For those of you that already own this stuff, it may or may not make you budge or whatever. But I guess for the people who moved from Machine to another platform and now they back like, oh, it's standalone now. well, I think I might make that switch back over. It's this video is it's I don't know. I don't know who this video is aimed at, but I think that part right there is aimed towards those type of people. I would guess. Who maybe some of you guys, I still see a lot of people still has the MK2 version and was waiting, didn't feel compelled to upgrade to the MK3 because it didn't make sense to them. And now that it's portable, it's like, oh, I think I may go ahead and buy. And if that's the case, visit the link in the description, guys. I have a link available for you guys if you want to go ahead and upgrade today. You can pre-order right now. Use the link in the description. It's an affiliate link. It don't cost you nothing extra. It don't give it's not extra to pre-order through that link. It just helps me out. It just helps me out. No, I agree. It's for a particular person. It's for the person who has been wishing Machine has. Yep, you got it. You got it. That's exactly who it's for. Everyone who was crying about the fact that Machine product is not standalone yet. This is exactly for them. That's the person that sees a benefit now. Now, if like I say, if you have the MK3 already, it may not be worth it to spend $1,400 to get the same type of, because if it's sitting on your desk like it is mine's is always sitting on my desk. I'm really not doing much these days. That's just me. I'm not really moving around. I'm always right here for the most part. Early in the year I was moving around a lot, so it would have made sense for me then. You know what I mean? But right now my current situation is right here. It's on my desk. Buying that $1,400 for it to sit on your desk does not make sense to me. And that's you know what I mean? It just depends. Let me turn up my ISO. It's getting kind of dark. All right, that looks a little better. Yeah, guys. So, yeah. Hopefully I help some of you guys. So the price point is I think the price point should be talked about amongst those people who wished for this mobile deal. For you guys, like I say, for you guys that already own the unit, it doesn't make sense to you. But for those who wanted to stand alone, it may make better sense. And it still might be a price issue with those type of people, but that's when you need to visit the spec page on Native Instruments website, and then you can make your decision from there. But all in all, I think it's cool. I think it's cool. We finally here standalone unit. It was something that was that's been requested. They finally listened. They gave the community what they've been asking about, what they want, and I think that is great. When I saw this, that is what gave me that the thought of a great indication that they are heading in the right direction. I've already gathered that synopsis a long time ago, but now we can see physically what's going on. You know what I mean? We can see physically what they're trying to do. I've already talked about the software itself and where we moving into linear. I remember I told y'all about then becoming a full DAW. We are heading that way. We're only going up. So we are here, and each update, of course, will be taking us further and further in that workflow. Here's something else. I don't know for a fact, but I feel like that this new device, this Maschine Plus, is one of those things that something is hidden in there. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like one of those things that happened when the Maschine Studio was here. When the Maschine Studio came out, there were no touch, no button, and different things pop up like menu wise or like, the touch encoders. There was none of that. Then they came out with this update, and it was like, oh, by the way, you could touch the knobs and these different things can pop up. And I was like, oh, wow. I never knew that it can do that. That's crazy. So I feel like this new unit has something like that as well. Like there's something in there that will unleash when the proper update comes out. And then y'all going to be like, oh my God, I didn't realize. I don't know. If I had to be creative and think about what it could possibly, maybe it's one of those things where you hover your hand over a sensor. There might be a sensor on it where you hover over it and it does these cool effects. I don't know. I'm just talking, but I just kind of feel like there was something might be under the hood. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I don't know. But I just thought that I certainly didn't see that coming with the Maschine Studio. That was like next level. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Touch it like you, because I know for me, turning the encoders, I had to turn the encoders on certain categories in order to see, the different things like drums. You go to like drums and then you can see the kick, snare, hi-hat, stuff like that. But now when you touch it, you can see that even before you turn the knob. And I still use that. I still think that's a dope feature. And that was not expected. So I don't know. If we can touch the knobs, what else could we touch? Maybe the screens are touch sensitive. But they will release it and they won't say it. But maybe the screens are really touch sensitive. And then an update comes out. All of a sudden, we can touch stuff on the screen. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. And in order for me to say that, I don't know any inside. They don't tell me everything. I know certain things about certain things, but they don't tell me everything. If that was the case, I would never say that. I would never talk about it because I could get in trouble about that. But I don't know. I'm just being creative right now. I'm tapping in somewhere, and that's definitely something that could happen. But who knows? It said third party VST sold. Hey, make sure you visit that link in the video, at the bottom of the video. Pre-order your orders using that link. I really appreciate that. It say Native Instruments ice cold. Yeah. I might switch from Studio to the Plus. Okay, so you still rocking the Studio. That's what's up. Yeah, everybody will be good with a touchscreen. Absolutely. I will be good with a touchscreen. And that will complete the Maschine Plus. Oh, who cares about a battery? Yeah, so like, okay, would you guys be okay with not having a battery if it was touchscreen on there instead? You got to pick. So for $1,400 at its current state, would you guys go for it to be a touchscreen, or would you rather the battery? But you know what really been cool is if they release several, like a couple of units, like the PS5, right? The PS5 have a couple of versions that they're releasing this year, right? And they're kind of different from each other. So for you guys that want this, you could do that. Or if you want that, you could do that. So what if Maschine came out with a device So at $1,400, it's this one, the plus. What if they came out with a plus plus and came out with the touchscreen and the battery in there, and then charge y'all, I don't know, what would be possible? $2,500, $2,800 for the touchscreen and the battery. Like, what if there was like different models that they came out with? You kind of give y'all an option to go with, see which one, you know what I mean? Like, for the, just kind of break down the one that fits you better. That would have been pretty interesting right there. Right. So you'll go for the touchscreen, so you're not worried about the battery. Yeah, touchscreen would have made a difference. So no more talk about the battery if y'all got touchscreen. So y'all think touchscreen is more important, but a lot of you guys on here talking about the battery. No one has really talked about the touchscreen. Hey man, it still ain't touchscreen. Producer put money in adding value. It doesn't add value. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. That's the whole point about this, and that's what my channel is about. Actually, it's all about the producers, all about what you can do with the devices that you have in front of you. You know what I mean? That's what we preach here. So I hope you subscribe. I think I remember seeing you before, but I'm not sure. But if you're not subscribed, and that's for everybody, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Just go ahead and subscribe. And also, you got to hit that notification icon as well, because if you don't, you will miss stuff like this. You know what I mean? You got to hit that bell notification icon and click all notifications. That way you won't miss me going live or post videos or whatnot. So you guys got to remember to do that. So you go for a micro with the battery. Okay. Okay. You say you wish they release a version without complete to drop down the price. Currently, users feel like they're paying for something they have. Well, yeah, yeah. I think that's for okay, so every version that I've gotten, all of the products that I got always came with something. I never had to download them because but I get what you're saying though. I but do notice that select, they come with the select stuff. Select is no cost. It's like it's free. It just comes with that. Like there's no, I don't think there's a cost. There is a cost on the site if you buying that separately without like buying a product. But it's like one of those things that comes free when you buy a hardware. You get that free automatically. You know what I'm saying? I guess if you think of it like that, then you kind of like, it processed differently in your brain. But I see what you're saying. To some people, the way that they look at that is, oh man, I don't need that. That's extra. So could I get it without it? I think the Atom pads, the Atom is like that. I think I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Battery for DJs. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. Now, let me. That one right there. If you think about it, if you're a DJ, you're gonna need power source from somewhere. You pound up your turntables somewhere. You got your speakers going in. You need power somehow. So even for a DJ, now if you're talking in terms of like less power, like less cords to plug in, I mean, but still you got to plug in something to come out of the outputs and route into the mixer. But I mean, if you're a DJ having a battery, I don't know, that kind of, to me, it doesn't really make sense. if you're a DJ, because you're gonna need outlet anyway, so you might as well plug in the machine. Foot now, I'm just thinking because even like DJs now these days, they're using screens, they're using computers, so it's like, so if that's the case, like you don't even really need this. You could just use the MK3. But I'll say this because you're using a program to in conjunction with your turntable, tractor, or whatever, right? You want your computer dedicated to that. So having a machine standalone where it's not using anything from your computer and you just plug in for the sounds or whatnot, and it has that link capability to it where you can link and wirelessly do stuff with devices and stuff like that. That right there, I think is game changer for DJs. If like you're in this native instrument type workflow, now that could be cool. That could be really cool. But as far as like the battery, I don't know how that would help a DJ out since you need AC power anyway. You know what I'm saying? Touch all day. Everybody's going for the touch. Well, some people. Alan, what's up, by the way? Absolutely, absolutely. Already got parts. Do you know if you can use all the complete 13 library with the Machine Plus? At the moment, I think the answer to that is no. I think, but I don't let my answer deter you away if you were interested. I don't really know the answer to that. I right now I think everything is being optimized right now to work with the Machine Plus. So right now as it stands, you pre-order, right? And I'm pretty sure that there's going to be some updates that's going to come in the future that's going to that's going to um what's the word I'm looking for? There's going to be some updates that's going to make sense. It's going to connect everything together. So my answer, I guess, will be yes, but I'm not really sure. But as it stands right now, we just went to the website and saw everything that's included in this expansion thing. Everything's being optimized, which means you're not going to get the full everything, but you're going to get like a lot of stuff that's useful or whatever. But again, it's still a MIDI controller. So I mean, you still have that option, that ability to connect to your big library. But again, this is a mobile unit. It's, just think of it as like having iOS device, with it on your iPad or something like that. On your iPad, you remember the? I don't even know if they're gonna do anything with that, the iOS version, but um, on your iPad, everything couldn't come. Like you couldn't use your entire complete library inside of an iOS. You know what I'm saying? They had to make optimized expansions in order to support the small mobile device. I think that's the same here. But here's the thing. I On the site I did read that the SD card slot supports up to 1 terabyte SD card. So if you could fit whatever you could fit on an SD card, I think that you are able to use your library. But if you're like me, you have everything. 1 terabyte is probably 3 instruments. I'm exaggerating, but 1 terabyte is not big enough for everything that comes on native instruments. So you're definitely selective in terms of that. But yeah, I mean, man, That's better. I didn't want to have to keep boosting my ISO. All right. Complete 13 controller mode. Yes, in standalone is it's coming in the future. Appreciate that. I think I read that somewhere, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure about that. But yeah, I tried to answer that question. But it's still. I mean, just things are gonna be on more on the optimized side of things. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that they will make this product to shortchange anybody. I mean, you paying $1,400, so you just got to give them time to like come around and get fully adjusted to everything. And I feel like the future is very bright. You know what I mean? It will all make sense. That's kind of where I am with it. Yeah, the you can put an SD card in there up to 1 TB. It supports that. Now the USB external, now that's what I initially thought that you can add. Now, now that right there, that would be game changer for me. Now you can plug in a big hard drive and be able to support your entire library. Now, right now as it stands, the USB slots are designed for keyboard. But now I think about it, if you can just plug in your keyboard, why not it be uh, a slot where you can put in a hard drive? It should be able to read that. I don't know. But those are USB 2.0s. So that might be I don't know. I feel like those should have been 3.0s. But of course, if it was intentional to put in a hard drive, it would have been 3.0. You know what I'm saying? But it's 2.0 right now. Or maybe a 3.0 might have been too powerful for what it's doing now in terms of like the clocking speed process, the clocking processing speed. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely, Roger. Yeah, we already had like a few people talking about that. Because I think that when I first went live, that was a lot of people's point about it not having a battery. And I think it was something that people have discovered ever since the MPC one came out. People people were crying about the fact that it didn't have battery in there, and then somebody figured it out. You know, I could just buy a battery pack for it. Problem solved, and go about your business. And then you got people who's tripping out about the fact that, well, I got to buy this extra device, blah blah. I mean, you're already buying. You're already you're already paying for this stuff. You might as well just spend an extra $100, $200 or whatever. I don't know. You can get a battery pack. You know, it is what it is. Do I yeah, I use Ableton push to all the time. I mentioned that a little earlier. I don't know if you heard it, but Do I think the arrangement update will be on that level? I don't know. I have to look at it. I have to see what's going on with Ableton. Um, I was I did know that there was an update coming out pretty soon, but I have to look at it. And again, I couldn't even talk about that either, because it wasn't announced. But yeah, I use Ableton Push all the time. I don't use it as much as I like to, but I do use it quite often. Um, I guess I'll get more into that little lot, a little later, whatever. A dedicated package of 9 cents and sample instruments, 35 effects, and even expansions, including two of your own choosing that work seamlessly in standalone. That's what's up. That's a lot of you guys doing your research. Appreciate that. Appreciate you looking into that. Hey, how you finding the Atom? By the way, I like the Atom. I like the Atom is cool because I use Studio One. I set those answers up like that. It's cool because I use Studio One. You know what I mean? Like if you're a Studio One person, then it's pretty dope. If you're not a Studio One person, I I don't know. Although they make it to control other dolls, other you know programs or whatnot, but um because I use Studio One, it's super dope. I really like it, and it's on my desk all the time. It connects with everything because Studio One, I don't I'm not always in Studio One. I pull up Ableton Live, of course, sometimes, or I'll go in Logic, and it's cool. Like, cause it's right there. It's dope. Everything that it does is really cool. I like it. Type of question, but what camera are you using? The camera I'm using right now currently is I have two cameras that I'm using right now. That I use to go live. This particular one is the Sony ZV-1. This particular one, but I'm usually using a Panasonic Lumix camera when I go live. But I have this one. This one's pretty cool. And this camera just released this year, so I was like, you know what? Let me try that out. Let me see how that works. No, I don't have any answers to Persona's MIDI issue at the moment. Um, I'll say you guys just need to stay on top of that, like sending them stuff in the forums, making sure that they are fully aware of the issues that you are having. If everybody can do that, then they'll address it. But um, I just learned to deal with it. To me, it's like one of those things where it's like I don't think they even see the value of it. They don't really. Um, I have seen improvement when I upgraded my computer. The computer's a little faster and it can handle CPU a lot better. So I really haven't had any major issues with that. It still happens. I still got MIDI issues, but it's not that big of a deal anymore. So I really don't talk about it as much, but I know it's still there. And because a lot of you guys still talk to me about that, and I'm like, hey, hit them up in the forums. Um, do some like record video. I think the best way to show personas that you're dealing with these issues is to do some videos of your experience and link them in that video, letting them know what's going on. Like, hey, personas, this is what we are talking about. This is what we are hoping you guys fix. This is a problem. Some of them guys will say change your buffer size, and that's not the issue. It's not the buffer size because when you have like several instruments in your project, you need that buffer in order to play back those instruments. And so decreasing your buffer size or your block size is no longer an option, you know. So they can't pull that card, but that's usually the first thing they'll tell you, like just decrease your block size. Yeah, TikTok. That's a common issue that a lot of us were having. The MIDI wasn't responsive like it need to. But again, that could be because you have a computer system that can handle a little more. But the thing was with even like on my old system, my CPU. I think it depends on who you are too. But the current system I was on even before I upgraded, I never had those problems when I was in Logic. I never had those problems when I'm using Machine. Never had that issue using Ableton Live or Reason or anything else I've used. It was only that problem in Studio One. And so when I upgraded my computer, the problem got it decreased. It didn't happen as much. It's like when you insert your chords, whatnot, and Studio One will tend not to catch those exactly when you play the chords or notes or whatever. It will always be like a funky, like it'll be way off. I still experience that now, but it's not as bad as it used to, but it's still there. And like I say, I don't have those issues with other dolls, but I just learned to deal with it. I'm wondering when using the Machine Plus with the PC, does it use processing power from the unit when sequencing, or strictly in the controllable and use PC processor? The Machine Plus, it's standalone. Period. Like it. Um. Um. I'm trying to see if I can gather the correct answer to that question. I'm wondering if using the plus with the PC, does it use processing power from? I see what you're saying. Um, I'm thinking. That's a good question. I'm thinking that if you're plugging this unit up to your computer, it's going to be the same as what it was before, using it as a controller. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know how it would handle the fact that it has its own dedicated CPU in the actual unit when it's connected to the computer. Um, that's something interesting to explore as well. That's a good question. That's an excellent question, by the way. I'll have to find that out. Seeing that it has, um, I do believe that now if Native Instruments is smart, they will use the CPU that's dedicated inside of the unit. Like some of that will be kind of offset, I guess, using the cores inside of the actual device itself to help stuff go even faster. Being attached like that once you connect it to a PC, it that's a good question right there. I'll have to explore that one. Still need retrospective record and better colors. Okay, that's what's up. You gave up with it and stuck with Cubase. I have Cubase. I don't have the latest update though, but I see what you mean. And yeah, adding Cubase to that list, as I was mentioning earlier, never had any issues in Cubase either. Yeah, I get what you're saying though. Gave up on S1 2 due to the issues on the on and Reaper, loving Reaper, appreciate it. Appreciate it. It's not for everyone though. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Definitely a preference choice there. Gregor has got a script in exchange to realign parts. Take a while to sync. Never tried it though. Maybe it's worth seeing and help if it helps. You know, I yeah, yeah. Probably need to explore that, but I had a similar experience using the went in and adjust something. It was something similar to that, like adjusting the offsets, whatever, and that didn't work either. That was like they don't even I don't know. It didn't work out for me, but yeah, the fact that Gregor knows that and he has a script for it, I'm I want to say that that could be something that's addressed later on in later updates. Maybe personas will eventually get to it. I don't know. You're late to the party. Shame on you, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'm taking points away from you. Hey man, and you can't be late, man. You got to be on time when we do these streams, bro. Nah, it's all good, man. It's a good thing about these streams that you can always like go back and view it from the top. What's good, Rob? Um, yeah, I mean, we kind of been on here for about 2 hours talking about uh machine and what I think and just point out different things. Um, it's a pretty cool unit. Wi-Fi is a lifesaver. Absolutely, absolutely. And if I miss some of y'all questions, please forgive me. There's a lot of people I miss. Have you figured out how to use Machine Jam with Studio One? If not, please let personas know we need that integration. Um, I figured it out a long time ago. It don't work now since I upgrade to Studio 5. There were some things that went wacky and whatever. But I was able to get this thing working with Studio One. Um, I don't know how that will be effective. Because that's really not a focus for me. I don't really care for Machine Jam um being synced with Studio One. Like I don't really care about that. So if that's something you care for, I'll definitely encourage you to hit their forums up and uh let them know about what you would like them to, you know, what you want to see happen. But the Machine Jam is like I don't know, it's like it's like a grandfather unit. It's like not many people are talking about it right now. Not a lot of people. If you have it, there's value. Cause I use it with my machine, the MK3, a lot. But I, it's not like I don't know. It's not hot right now. Meaning I don't really need it to control Studio One. I did a video on it before, so if you search, you can search for a video of syncing this thing up. But like I don't really care that it syncs up anymore because I think that was before the Machine 3 came out. And when the Machine 3 and the Complete Control came out, now I have DAW integration with the keyboard. I didn't really care for this thing to sync anymore, but I've done it before. But it's not a hot topic for me. I'm unable to I think I hit this topic already. That one is one of those um things, yeah, I have to explore once I get it in my hand. Keep in mind that the specs might change. The battery might come anyway. I don't know about that. No, I don't know. So when we were talking about RAM, in regards to the price of this unit, you're saying that was previous generation of RAM. That might be so. If you like, you just got to think about it, guys. That coming in on a hardware device might be dope. Maybe not in the computer, but the specs that it comes with on a device that's not a computer. So that means all that RAM is being geared towards instruments. See, on the computer, you're doing several things. Like you got Bluetooth on there, and you got Wi-Fi on here. You got web pages. You going visiting. You sending emails. You doing all these different things, and you got plugins that you download to your computer. And you got other applications you downloaded. So your computer nowadays is doing a lot more, and it's you know. So yeah, we are definitely further on in terms of the CPU, the cores, and things like that. Absolutely. But in terms of a device with that type of power that's dedicated to doing certain things and those certain things only, that's a little different. The language is totally different. So and what's up, man? So yeah, I'm just like catching up on those questions. So if you can upgrade the RAM, that will be fire. Yeah. But again, that this goes back to what I just said. Um, Again, the device that comes, the the RAM that comes on a hardware device like this is different from the CPU world, a computer that does everything versus a device that does certain things. So, you know, yeah, upgrading the RAM might be pretty cool, but um, you might not have to do that, seeing that this device you're not going to be sending any emails with this device. You know what I'm saying? You're not using this device to pull up Studio One or anything else. You're using it to just handle machine. The things that the machine makes. It's 100% going to be soldered. That I kind of believe that too. So if you want to break into it at your own risk. Say the link feature sounds interesting for collaboration with other and singing gear. If you could meet up and jam, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what this thing that can do. So it's like little stuff like that, guys, that I think everybody's missing. The link feature. Yeah, transport, yeah, all of that is being controlled over air, depending on who's, uh, I guess which one is the the main device. I do believe that as well. Wireless is not optimal. But it just depends on this. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that the way that this was designed is it was designed in a way that makes things a little bit more. I don't know, but I could be wrong. Something is always prone to happen, right? Anytime you're dealing with technology, something always go wrong. That's why they send firmware updates to fix problems or whatnot. So, um, you said they had native access on Wi-Fi. That's what's up. Yeah, yeah. I did. That's pretty cool, right? Um, yeah, me too. Me too. Um, yeah. So obviously I can't answer everybody question. Um, I was trying to go back and visit some more, but a lot of the questions I'm seeing I've answered like 2 3 times. So hopefully I did like hit the questions that you guys asked and I didn't answer right away and I got to it later on. Yeah, Rob, you were 2 hours late, man. That's a shame, man. I don't know about that. That's man, some fan you are. Some fan you are. How dare you come 2 hours late, bro? Yeah, I do know that. Um, I had this conversation with Delio. Um, like his notification for his fans is totally screwed. Like nobody's getting nothing, and it's like it wasn't like that before. So I don't know. So if you guys not getting, I'll say the first thing that everybody needs to do is just make sure that you have your notifications at all videos. I don't post that much. Sometimes I do, but I mean, if you don't want to miss anything, then I'll say go for the all. And if you're still not getting any notifications, I apologize that you're not getting them. It's not my fault. That's a YouTube thing because they always doing something, and I know right now what they're trying to do if they haven't already. You know how you used to get emails every time I post a new video. They they doing away with that. No more emails. Everything will be in the app. So if I post something, you'll get a notification in the app versus emails. Or if you was on YouTube, like on a website, you would get the notification in the little bell thing. But they're not sending any more emails because the open rate is terrible. It's like a waste of time. They know people not visiting their emails to see because by the time you get the email, it's too late. I just happen to go live and be on for a very long time. So a lot of you guys are catching me like 2 hours, 3 hours later because I know that's the case. Please tell personas to get with the program and integrate MK3 to S15. It's coding. You know what? I'm glad. Well, check this out, guys. This is something we addressed a little earlier when I was going through the presets. I'm sorry, the specs. I was going down here and I have found something that was interesting that stuck out to me. Um, when I was reading down here where it says DAW integration right here, I thought it was very interesting that Studio One is now in here. Studio One, and you notice it right down here too. Like so for the Machine Plus, this is the Machine Plus, and this is the Machine MK3, and this is the Micro. I think if I go back up here to the top, yeah, this is the Micro, and I noticed that this is a part of the list now. So I wonder if this is something that they updated their site with recently, because this wasn't originally a part of the release or whatever, right? So, and this is on the Machine. Now we already have DAW integration with the with complete control, but I'm interested in seeing if I will notice something with Machine if I load Studio One. So once I'm done with this, guys, I think I will check to see if I notice something different about connecting my Machine. So I don't know. This wasn't a part of the program at first, right? So, but this thing works with Logic though. When you plug in the Machine using Logic, it will work really great. And I was like, oh my God, only if Personas could do that. So that's something we'll have to explore. And of course, I'll keep y'all updated on that because that's I would like to see that. Oh yeah, computer needs about 4 gig memory without any apps loaded. Absolutely. Um, but again, just think, you know, the Machine is not a computer per se, not in the form that we're used to, like a full on where you send your emails and visit browsers. Like I feel like that the CPU power, the RAM, and all that is being the memory is being dedicated towards the hardware, and so um, I think it works differently in terms of the hardware because you're not doing all of this stuff that your computer does. It's dedicated to your instruments. So when you talk about power, they're just only dedicated to instruments, and that might be a different factor. That might be like one of those. Okay, okay, I'll accept that. You know what I'm saying? It might be one of those. What's up, man? You made it out. That's what's up. You say that's far from the truth. What is far from the truth? Please elaborate. So notice it's saying integration. Notice it says as a VST. Just running the plugin inside any DAW counts as integration. Agreed. It's definitely a computer. I think y'all misunderstood me. So NK3 integration. Oh, you mean like when I read that from the site? Like, yeah, I'm reading that too, but no, that's not happening. It says Persona Studio One, but it's not there. Is that what you're saying? But yeah. So back to you. Frondis. So when I mention that, um, this is what I was saying. The CPU, the memory, and all those type of things that make this unit standalone. Yeah, it's definitely a CPU. It's definitely a computer. It's a brain inside of it. Absolutely great. But what I was saying was, I was going back to the comment that was made earlier, where someone said that 4 gigs is is what make the computer just turn on. Without even doing anything. But what I was saying was, the things that make your computer, and all the things that you do on your computer, you don't have to worry about all that on a hardware, on a dedicated hardware. All of that CPU, the memory, the gigs, the processing, all that is dedicated to this hardware to run exactly what it was intended to do. Run your plugins, run your instruments, and do what it does as a hardware unit. That's what I meant by when I said it's not a CPU, and that's why I said it's not a computer like you would like this here. Your CPU or your computer that you're using to send email, check Facebook, browse around, type papers, words, you know, uh, edit websites, stuff like that. You're not tapping into this CPU on this hardware for that purpose. So when you think about the amount of CPU that's dedicated, or the memory that's dedicated to this unit, you thinking like, oh, that's old school. That's what they did. That we not even on for a hardware unit. That's different. That could be dope. You know what I mean? Because it's dedicated in a way, or and on top of that, things that you're doing in the hardware is obviously optimized to be a mobile unit, like your phone. Like you could type up stuff and you can do stuff on your phone, but everything that on your phone is obviously being optimized to run on your phone versus your computer. Your computer handles a little bit better. You could do like most of everything you could do on the computer on a mobile device, but everything was optimized, and the memory and that type of processing is obviously slower. Maybe not, depending on what unit you have, but everything is optimized. And your phone, sometimes in most cases, actually runs faster than your computer, because it just depends on what you're doing on it. You know what I mean? Like if you got a lot of apps on it, then of course it's going to slow down. It's the same process with the machine. If you know, I'm guessing once you start to fill up and tap into the thing, it's going to slow down. It's not going to perform as needed. But that might be a different video. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's, I don't know, maybe you can max it out and it still runs perfectly. I don't know. That's something that, it's one of those things where if you are subscribed to the channel, we discover those things as we go and move on. Oh, okay. That's, I apologize. Yeah, I apologize about that. Yeah. I think some people, but it was a good one though, because I know other people think the same thing. Because which was the reason why it was brought up initially. People like 4 gigs. Oh, that's what the computer does before you even do anything else. Trying to say that that's not enough. You know what I mean? So it's all dedicated to applications inside only. Absolutely, absolutely. That was my point. That was my point. I got you understood. I that Right, right. Yeah, it's definitely a computer with all of the fluff. Absolutely, absolutely. That's all it is. That's all it is. I'm gonna leave all of this stuff right here for you guys to explore. Yeah, I'm gonna leave all the extra stuff to you guys. Like you guys make this. I hope that this stream help you guys. Um, we was talking about it. We hit on a bunch of things here and there. We talked about personas. We talked about the different specs on this Machine Plus. Who's it for? We talked about what it could do. We talked about um NPC, and we did a little comparison, not a full comparison because I'm not familiar with NPC, but like more so like the overall scope of it. In trying to make sense out of the price, we talked about the price point being not great to some people, but to other people, it was there was a point in the stream where I had to make some sense out of it. People were like, man, $1,400. But if you bought the Machine Studio, you paid $1,200, and that's just a MIDI controller. A lot of you guys comment and said that y'all paid $1,100 for it. Some paid $1,000. Some paid, I don't know. Most of you guys said $1,200. So now that we are standalone, $1,400. That's what $200 more than the Studio was. But Studio can't touch what you can do with the Plus. So, is it worth it? I don't know. That's really up to you. Who's it for? It's for the person who wants the mobile, who wanted to want a mobile form factor, but it's not really mobile because it don't have a battery, and you can buy a battery pack. So those type of things we came across, and hopefully this was a successful stream and it helped everybody understand what was going on. If you are still watching, please give me a thumbs up. So I know there's a whole slew of people that came in. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, guys. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe here. If you ask me, and I was catered to. Boy, this might be good. If you ask me, NI is catering to film score and EDM users. They're slowly letting the urban artists slip out of their pockets now. I disagree. I disagree with that comment because I don't think anything changed. Here's something I want to address. The Machine, which is pronounced Maschine, that's how they say it out there in Germany. There's a bunch of Germans that created this. And the Machine, I think, was initially designed for techno and EDM. Like it was kind of always in that realm. And I'll say that because of the sounds and the expansions, whatever, was really more so techno stuff. But what's cool about it is that the capability of sampling and bringing in your own stuff in here, just like Studio One, for instance. Studio One is really, I feel like, is more so geared towards mix engineers and people recording guitars and bands and stuff like that, right? That's what a full DAW is. You can do all these things, record audio into the DAW or whatever. But the way that they market it, when they put out videos, they always market it being in a studio recording a full band. There's never people in the bedroom studio creating stuff in their bedroom and using a little MIDI keyboard to do what they do. That's not the way that they market it. However, people like me take this and do something opposite of how they market. I use it and I create trap from it. I also do film score music using Studio One. I like how I can route really easy using Contact, because Contact is one of those plugs that I use a lot using the instruments. So I agree with you to the in the lane of like film, because there's a lot of film stuff associated, but I don't think that there's anything different from what they've been doing the entire time. In fact, I think they're leaning in a little bit deeper into the urban trap world, because you got Cloud Supply. You guys heard about that? Cloud Supply, that was produced by my boy Snipe Young. You know what I mean? He also has Pure Drip, which is another kit. Also the Kingdom packs in there, which is produced by him as well. And there's some other stuff in there. Lo-fi. Lo-fi is its own plug-in. It's an instrument that you can put inside a contact. There's another one. Faded Reels is another expansion kit, machine expansion kit that gives you that lo-fi hip hop sound. And there's some other kits in there. I can't remember all of the name, or Lilera Glare or something like that. I can't think, but yeah. So it's like, when, in terms of like you saying that they're stepping away from the urban, I definitely don't think that there's any. And then here's the other thing you gotta realize, that a lot of the sounds and things like that that's made for urban music, I bet you guys didn't know that a lot of that stuff is being made by guitars, live guitar, acoustic guitar that's played and just put an effect on it, or a mallet instrument that's just played and you put and twist it, flip it, and put an effect on it, and they sell that stuff. A piano sound, which Native Instruments has a bunch of them. A piano sound, put an effect on that, fatten it up, put some reverb on it, probably put halftime on there, and flip it. Now it sounds like a dope R&B urban lo-fi. In fact, some of their plugs that they have now, like Dirt, or what's the other one, Choral, Phases. With that phase, you put the phases on a guitar, and there you go. You have like a I don't know, something that goes with I can't think of his name. Malone. I can't think of the artist's name, but yeah, you know, like stuff like that. It's just all about how you go about the stuff. And yeah, I mean, like I say, like regular instruments, and just put an effect on it, and bam, there you go. You got the urban deal. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really think that they went away from that. I feel like, in fact, they're moving closer to the urban. But it just depends on how you guys look at it. Yeah, I mentioned, yeah, Peer Drip. Yup. What's up, Aaron? What's going on, man? Now, in comparison to NPC, see, now we getting into comparison. Now, like NPC has always had that boom back style, that boom back. Most of their kits are geared towards hip hop. Absolutely, I agree. I agree. And that right there, that subject right there has always been like the hot topic. Should I go with NPC? Like before all this stuff started happening, APC or Native Instruments. Me per se, because I'm like a music production guy. I don't just do trap. I don't just do hip hop. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I get in, I do movie scores, I do this and I do that. I lean more towards like the linear workflow, and just, I don't know. I tend to use Native Instruments because that's kind of that vibe I get. I can do like full production. That's the reason why I rock with Native Instruments. MPC has that quick beat, make a beat real quick, throw some effects in there, and do some things, and then do your thing. Like that type of workflow, that has never been my vibe, or my vein right there. That's like a different type of user. You know what I'm saying? But not to say that you can't use NPC to do that type of thing with, turn it into like a music production workflow or whatever. I mean, a lot of people do that, but I'm just saying, like, what you see people like that's just trying to get a quick beat done. They use NPC. If you're trying to do music production, like to your point, you are using Native Instruments because it comes with contact, all the instruments that's involved, more orchestral stuff. which gives you the implication that, okay, Native Instruments is more so towards a certain type of user. It and that's subjective as well. It just you can use Maschine to do whatever you want to do, but I get it though. You know, um, um, case in point, Reason. When you see those type of videos, you pick up a vibe that is built towards the bedroom music producer. You know what I mean? Logic Pro, you get that vibe too. Logic Pro is more of a vast, but you get that point where, okay, I can do, in my bedroom music production, whatever, that type of thing. Studio One is not. You could do that with Studio One, but Studio One doesn't market it that way. It's all about how they market. So the perception of the way company market their products does give off a certain type of vibe. But I get it. I mean, if the NPC, okay, with Native Instruments, it's all about the packs you buy. It's all about what you have. Most of the stuff is sample based. So if you go to urban sites that make urban type samples, then you can definitely turn Maschine into your urban situation. And I don't know how much urban you need to get with the Maschine, because if you think about it, if you think about the Maschine Studio, right? If you're familiar with all of the other versions, that the Mark 1, the 2, all of the micros, well, except the second version, and all the way leading up to the Maschine NK3 now, where we are now. Just notice this. Note repeat. Let's see. Note repeat was always on the top, but you have pitch on there. So you have the pitch bend, so to speak, touch strip. Note repeat. Note repeat is bigger on the Maschine than ever before. Like, bam, okay. Who do you think use note repeat? What's up, Snipe? I was just talking about you, bro. Yep. Golden Kingdom, Street Swarm, Infamous Flow, Sierra Grub. Yeah. All of those. Snipe just proving the point. And by the way, Snipe, this guy right here is the one who created the and I said it earlier, but Peer Drip, right? Cloud, what is it? Cloud Supply. I knew it to come. And Snipe is a Grammy Award winning producer in the urban area. Right? He's like, so I don't know. I don't know what more do you want, but like basically what I was saying earlier. I mean, like West Coast. Okay, West Coast is another pack. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Kanjai, it's all about workflow. It like if you're looking at something based on what it looks like, then I mean, hey, that's all on you. And I mean, I mean, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I mean, yeah, I mean, NPC does have a certain way that they market themselves, so you feel like that's urban. That's where I should be if that's what I'm creating. But you could do the same thing with Maschine. But again, it's your money that you're spending. It's your workflow that you deal with. It's not me. You know what I mean? If you feel like the NPC is is doing more for you and your style, then go for the NPC. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the one who telling y'all can or can't. I'm not that person. I usually preach that is all a workflow type thing. Um, but I think for me, what I'm able to do with Machine, I could do everything. I can get that sound if I want. I have like a bunch of samples, and I for those of you that are just coming in, there was a point or a comment made that Native Instruments was moving away from the urban world, and I disagree with that. So that's what we're talking about. I highly disagree with that. I think it's a world that you create for yourself. Whatever world you in, you pick the device that complement you. But hopefully you pick something that will future proof your workflow. For me, I future proof myself. I bought into I guess I bought into something that was only available for what I was trying to do at that time. And it was like one of those things where like, oh, I'm glad I'm in the native instrument world because these type of things that I was able to see being evolved over the years or whatnot. I mean, NPC, yeah, it's dope. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be the one who say it ain't. I think the NPC is dope. I'll rock with it in terms of like, them being out there doing a thing, but will I ever buy one? That's also subjective. If they send me one, that's the only way I'll have one, but I wouldn't buy the NPC. I have a different workflow. But I mean, all opinions. Everybody has one. I mean, at the end of the day, it. And I don't want to convince you to buy something you ain't rocking with. You know what I'm saying? That's totally up to you. That's not my place. Yeah, but I get you though. And again, I'm not trying to put anybody on a pedestal or anything like that. What's up, Bank? What's happening? Yeah, I'm telling y'all, man. If you want that NPC sound workflow, yeah, that's the man right there. Produce Market, also known as Snipe Young. That's the G right there. That's the real G right there. You say a Knife Wonder, Just Blaze, and Notorious are notorious on NI as much as NPC. That's probably the weakest argument I've ever heard a person who started on an NPC. um, I think they should have changed the look on the machine. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Right. Maybe that's what they need to do. Change the colors to make it feel like it's okay. That plays a huge part as well. If it could be the same device, but if you just change a couple of colors here and there, it just makes it feel like it's worth more money. Yeah, that's a great. That's a play on marketing. Absolutely. I mean, they changed a little bit, but I see what you're saying. It's not that much of a change. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there will be other type of colors that will be available for it. Absolutely. I would think that yeah, it has this more of a grayish silver, aluminum look, metal type vibe or something like that. Like a premium, like a more expensive unit. The NPC mess up putting the note repeat divisions on the screen instead of on the button, or buttons to switch between 116s and 32s, etc. Like Machine does. I have NPC in MK3 as well as push. That's yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. Sort of like what Personas did. Snipe, don't comment. Please don't comment. I already know you finna say something. Don't comment to that what I just said. I already know. Uh, talk. Okay, talking about the plugins that cater to urban genre, like that new drum plugin by NI that caters to rock or EDM. So here's what I would say. And to that, which is the reason why we need more people like Snipe to do plugs that cater towards the urban, and maybe you'll feel the vibe is getting stronger or whatever. But I do know, like once again, this is really all about what you do. It's all about what you do, and I'm not knocking you for what you're saying. I think you're making great points, but I put effects on everything anyway. So like I'll use a regular guitar and put effect on it and can turn it into lo-fi. You know what I'm saying? That's what is being done anyway. You know what I mean? So when you talk about expansions and plugs and whatnot, you can take any sound you want and just put an effect on it, warp it, and do all types of things. But I get it, because there's a lot of you guys that don't want to do that. You just want it ready right out of the box and boom. You know what I mean? And I totally get that, because I get the same effect. If something comes to me and is already ready to go, then I can create quicker and faster, and I'm on my way a lot quicker. But it's just really all up to you, you know. Yeah, it's Snipe. I already know. I already know, bro. Yeah. Don't even comment to that. Just leave that. Just leave that alone. uh. What is their drum sample utility called? Just sampler. What are you talking about? Talking about we talk about several things. Studio One, or in Machine, it's like it's two types of samplers. There's a audio, and then there's a sampler. So it's the audio only handles like it's like a time stretch automatically, and you can switch between gate and loop or whatever, and you have very limited functions of samples. But when you go to the sampler that's labeled sampler, you have more functions in there, but it doesn't do what the audio does. They need to combine that so it can be more powerful. I use a Machine and have over 30,000 urban street hits. And that's what I'm saying. That's what's up. That's what's up. See, if you're like Kenny, then you have all of these samples available to you, and Machine can be your urban solution. So at this point, it's just all about what makes sense in terms of workflow. Like, you shouldn't buy a hardware and spend all that money based on the sounds they have that comes with the expansions or whatever. I get it. It's more appealing to a certain crowd, but you should not go for a hardware company that also makes the samples. You should not go for the samples. You should go for the workflow, because you can always get the samples later. But if you go for an NPC because of the samples and you get irritated because of the workflow, then that's a waste of money. You know what I mean? Which is kind of what I'm hearing throughout this comments. A lot of people were waiting for the standalone Machine, and they switched to something else, spent some money, and now they want to come back because unfortunately or fortunately, they realized the workflow. They loved the workflow machine, but this just wasn't standalone. So they went and spent money buying something else, and now they're like kind of regretting it. Like, oh man, I should have stuck with it. And so, um, yeah, it's I don't know. It is what it is. Man, y'all just keep coming in here. Yeah, the orange was yeah. See, the orange one makes it feel like it's okay. That I feel like it's different a little bit. Like wow. Yeah, so having different colors will definitely make something feel more different than or just having more options make you feel it just makes it I don't know I guess better cater customize more options. People like options. Let's put it like that. People like options. If there was more color options, that maybe that would have been the factor. If there was more color options, it's like the studio. They came out with a white one and they came out with a black one, and then there was a silver one, like this black silverish look. They came out later on, but it was like you had an option. So it's like that was fun to be able to say, I want the white one, or I want the black one. No, I want the orange one. I'll go for this one. You know what I mean? Like that was kind of cool to be able to make that decision. Made it more fun, more creative. Bottom line, MK3 with touch screen. I'm 100% so absolutely. I think that's what the decision was earlier. If you wanted the battery or the touch screen, like which one would you go for? A lot of people commented that they were ready to go for the touch screen because if you get the touch screen, you can buy a battery pack. I've been saying the whole thing. You can buy a battery pack, make it mobile. There you go, your mobile solution, problem solved. But that I don't think it's touchscreen. So sorry. How I feel about no battery or hard drive. Appreciate that. The super chat, bro. Um, People want to produce without producing. Mark said. Exactly. Exactly. That's a great point. That's a great point. People want to produce without producing. Everything has to be like on point. I had to throw this comment up there because it was a super comment. But back to you, bro. So um, I don't have an issue with it actually. I don't have an issue with it because yeah well there's a lot of people that's complaining about the battery pack thing. Um, I made a comment earlier. I was like, man, if you're gonna pay $1,400 for this unit, you might as well just pay another $100 to grab a battery unit that can support this. There are battery packs that are made to handle like powering up your CPU, your computer, whatever. And there was a few different options that people mentioned throughout the comment section that you can buy for the solution. Something that was discovered for those NPC one users because that was a big issue, for those type of people. And so, it's like this thing is smaller, but you got to power it up. Boy, like, man, that's nuts. But somebody figured it out, and I think you could do the same thing with the the MK. I mean, Machine Plus. Just buy a battery pack. I think that's a solution to the battery pack thing. And like I was saying earlier, I don't really care that much for it because mine is always sitting on my desk. If I was mobile, then I would care about that. But again, I would just buy a battery pack, but you just can't buy any battery pack. I'm guessing you have to buy one that's specific. I have a battery pack that's made to jump my car, and it also powers up my computer as well, which is cool because the new Macs right? The new Max comes with the USB-C connection, and on the other end, it's um, on the other end, well, it does plug into the power break thing. But on the one I have to look at it again. But there are battery packs that comes with the plug. You can actually plug in a Edison to it, and so that might be the solution for your battery pack deal. So with that being said, I mean, problem solved. I mean, yeah, you already spending $1,400, and you got to spend like a couple more $100 just to get something like that. But I mean, um, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't think it's a big deal if there's a solution for it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if touchscreen was a thing, and which it is, but it's not a big deal because I'm so used to the workflow now. But if touchscreen was a real big issue, then that would be the deciding factor. I'll be like, oh no, because touchscreen cannot be put on a device after it ships. Yeah, that's. But a battery pack I can buy on my own. You know what I'm saying? So problem solved. Should be careful of the third party kits you buy. Um, for over $1,400, you got it on sale. I mean, it's yeah. At the end of the day, Loot Loft is trying to make money. You know what I mean? They are just like Waves. They are at the regular cost, and you just have to, if you want something, just you have to actually wait till you can catch it on sale. And if that's what you're gonna do, it just now it becomes a waiting game. You know what I mean? So yeah. But who knows when this stuff will come, available on sale again? You know what I'm saying? So, and that may be a solution to some people with this unit we're talking about. You may want to wait until Black Friday, but I don't even think that that's going to be possible. Seeing that it comes out this year, I don't think on Black Friday you will find this unit cheaper than what the release is. Maybe next year might be a different. It might participate in the Black Friday sale. Um, Maybe Black Friday they will throw in some extra stuff. You buy it for $1,400. We'll throw in a couple of packs for free. I think that might be what they'd do, but I can't see the price being different on Black Friday. I love one shots. Hey man, if you have enough of them, man, you good. You good. You are good to go. Um, I really wish that any updates to iOS so we could use Machine with it. I want to comment on this, but I'm not really sure. But I want to say that I there might be something in the trenches real soon. I don't know. I can't really say. Did the Machine Plus erase the Machine Studio? No, the MK3 did. The MK3 replaced the Machine Studio. That happened a long time ago. So I'm guessing you was somebody that was hoping that there was a Machine Studio 2 that comes out. Um, nah, the MK3 is a flagship right now, and the Machine Plus is what I think will become the new flagship. But I don't think it would erase the MK3 though. I think the MK3 will still be there as an option because it pretty much both the same unit. Um, it it depends. Can we call a machine a doll? It depends on um it depends on who you are and your understanding of what a doll is. So the definition of doll is digital audio workstation. So technically the machine is a doll, but the way we know a doll is by what it does in terms of like having that linear style workflow like you can in Studio One, Cubase, Logic, that type of thing, right? With the new updates in based on what I just said, and for the new updates that are being released pretty soon, we have this thing called clips, and the clips is what allows you to move the clips, the sections or the patterns. This is the best way I could explain it. You can move the patterns along the timeline however you please without restriction. Because you remember before everything was on scenes and patterns, and those patterns lock with the scenes. So now with clips, you can move that stuff outside the scene. You can move between scenes. And I don't even think you even need to have scenes no more with clips. So you can put clips on there and move them around. They can be however long you want and wherever you want them to start. So we're moving in that way. So it's becoming more of a linear workflow. So in terms of DAW, if that's what how you understand what DAW is, then yeah, we are there already, or according to update. As far as the update, the integration between the two, I think that's just only a matter of time. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's only a matter of time. So, if y'all just be patient, I'm gonna look at some stuff. I'm gonna look at I'm gonna look at something and see if there was something that was done based on something I point out earlier. I noticed that it says Persona Studio One in the list on the site, Native Instruments, and so I'm going to explore that. Said maybe if they came out with a Machine Micro standalone, I'm pretty sure that's right around the corner. It's possible for a cheaper solution, but think about it. How would that happen? Because seeing that the micro is already small and they took away the screen right here, that would mean they might have to put a screen on here, a bigger screen, which would be something all of y'all will want to see anyway. But they would have to increase the screen so that you can do some real stuff on it. Maybe, I don't know. I can't really comment on it because I'm not sure about that. That would be also pretty interesting to see that. Make the micro a standalone. I say this is only the beginning, guys, because now the MK, the plus is here, standalone. It only makes sense that everything else will have that follows that same idea. You know what I'm saying? You already put your foot in the water, so it's like, come on, we just keep going. So I can only foresee that concept being followed with the stuff in the future. So, um, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that definitely would be too small. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the screen is too small. So real talk. You want something I don't like Studio One is the painting. The painting's terrible. It only has balance, and I like painting where I can have left all actually move to okay. You know that's Again, that's one of those things. You know what I mean? You know, that's one of those. That's one of those things. All right, this is the first. I don't think I've heard that before. So based on your comment, you're one of the ones that got excited about the digital world because I have a few standalone stuff as well, and you got excited when those days when making music on the computer was a thing and it was rising. Plugins that sound like the hardware. Oh my god, that was amazing! Like and pay like a fraction of the cost, and don't have to have like a full studio of all the stuff, hardware and stuff like that, and everything is in your computer. So you're one of those people. That's what's up. Look, you're going against the grain. So what about the MPK3? Just like the recent upgrade to S. Yeah. Um. You just never know. Guys, just lock in with what you like and lock just lock in. If you have the MK3, great. Do your thing with that and don't worry about nothing else. Um. That's where I am with it. Whatever you have that you're working with, just work. I don't know. Just work with what you have, and because at the end of the day, it ain't gonna matter what you got. It matters what it all sound like when it's being finalized. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. We buy tools to help us create and and be creative as possible, but at some point you have to say, "I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm solid on what I have." You know what I mean? And future proof yourself as well. You got to go for something that you can see yourself using for a very long time, and that's what I did with Machine. I future proofed myself, so to speak. When I got into the Studio One, I kind of future proofed myself. I would have bought Reason at that time. They were limited. They were limited on the plugins. Everything was like still internal, and now they release. So everybody used Reasons like, oh my god, they went nuts on that fact. Now we can use third party plugins. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I can't argue with the sound though. It sounds great. But if that's what you into, then I have Reason. I like Reason, but I'm a Studio One Machine guy, so that's where it is for me. Hey, Snipe, I ain't know you still here. Majority of the people screaming standalone don't really want standalone workflow after being in the box all these years. Trust me, it's limited. The computer made it endless. I'm gonna say this. That's the reason why I was not really that excited when they put this out. Like when I listened to all of you guys talk about standalone, they need to put out, and because I agree with you, they need to put out standalone, and I'm like, and I'm just listening, and I look, I'm like, oh, cool. I don't, I don't need standalone. I don't care for it. But yeah, like to your point, everybody's screaming about standalone, and okay. And I also made a point earlier. I was like, so now we got standalone. Now there's gonna be another issue. The people, so now it's here. So what we talking about now? Oh, it don't have battery. So if they put a battery in there, oh, it's not touchscreen. Okay, and that when they put touchscreen in there, it don't have this. It doesn't do that. And so it's always gonna be something that we want, even if they give us everything that we ask for, and then when it comes out, it's something else we brewed up in my mind. Oh well, did it like stop? Just stop. Just take what you can get. They released it. You got it. Standalone is here. All y'all was crying about it. Okay, so now it's the price point. So it's the price point. It's the battery. It's the touchscreen. It's like it's always something wrong. It's always an issue. So it's at $1,400, guys. I don't think that's a bad price, but a lot of you guys are comparing that to NPC. This is not NPC. If you understand and again, I'm not clowning the NPC world. I don't own it, so I can't really I can't speak on that. But based on what I've seen people do with the NPC, you know what I mean? Me being in this production game for a very long time, I can see stuff and I can kind of pick out what's going on. I don't really need the device to be able to tell y'all how I feel about it, but I mean, seeing what you can do with the NPC, and I have a buddy who has one, and then seeing what you can do with the machine, to me is a no brainer. If I'm just making beats all day and I'm making trap, and that's all I do, then the NPC makes better sense for you if that's where you are. But if you're doing like full music, you know what I'm saying? If you're doing more of a broad deal, then Native Instruments is obviously kind of that. Not to say you can't do that in NPC. That's not what I'm saying, but it's just this is a different workflow when it comes to that, and that's a topic we hit on earlier. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I've been saying, thumbs up on this video, guys. It's like a whole nother vibe right now. Y'all come in, y'all give me some thumbs up on the video. Y'all can't be in here with no thumbs up on the video. Thumbs up, subscribe. You say you paid $1,400 for your ASR back in the day. That's what I'm saying. What's up, low ends? By the way, only the people who understand how this stuff goes and what it really is can appreciate the price. Is it expensive? Yes, it is expensive, but if you don't understand how the stuff goes, then you're going to be the one that's going to be like, this is too expensive because I don't understand how to do this stuff. It doesn't make sense. It's very expensive. I will never spend that type of money on hardware. Like, okay, but you can watch me talk about it. So, I mean, it balances itself out. Appreciate the thumbs up, guys. I really do. And hope that you subscribe. Do you think customers asking for a standalone has limited the improvement of software for Maschine and Akai? No, I don't. I don't think it limits it. Um, yeah, not at all. I don't think that affects the um. Yeah, that's just my opinion. I don't think it limits it because it depends on the scope of the company and where they trying to go initially. Anyway, you know what I mean. I feel like if if Native Instruments was trying to go somewhere else with it, it would have been a different type of hardware. It would have been a hardware with a keyboard attached to it or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it'd have been something totally different. So I just think like the scope of a company reflects their products and um, future uses. Yeah, yeah, a good point. That's a good point there. A good point. Good point. And that is exactly what I'm doing. So I look at the machine as a plus, like in addition to the workflow, in terms of what you can do with it by itself, which is probably where the other guy was coming from. What you could do with it by itself. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Until the update, you can't really do a full song on machine because you can't even format properly with the scenes. No transitions between. Well, I'm hoping that the clips give you that extra function. The clips will allow you to do certain things that you couldn't do before. Say $1,400 versus a good MacBook. I'm going for the MacBook for future uses. Absolutely. I mean, to me, that makes sense. So if you are in if that's your if that's your situation, yeah, it makes sense to buy a good MacBook for that same price. That just only makes sense. So again, this really kind of boils down to um it boils down to you, the user, what makes sense to you. Um, I will pick a decent computer over this unit any day for that same amount of money. But if you already have a decent computer and you were looking to update for this purpose, and this was perfect for what you have been like inquiring, then it's for those people. You know, it's always. I feel like I've been saying the same thing all over and over and over because it's like a whole slew of people. It's like another section of people that comes in like every hour, every 30 minutes, and some of you guys are asking the same type of questions, and I think I'm gonna bring it to a halt. I'm not gonna answer anything that requires me to repeat what I've been saying. Which is why y'all need to be subscribed. Because if y'all was subscribed, y'all know I went live and y'all would have caught everything in the beginning. I even showed the video. I went to the website and showed y'all the specs. We talked about all that stuff. That was much earlier. But for you late timers, Y'all gotta get y'all act together, man. Now I'm tripping because I'll set a live and sometimes I'm late, so it's all good. But I encourage you guys to go to the top of the video and view it, and I'm going to hit some things that I probably didn't talk about. Like as you guys come in, you just gotta hit the top of the video. Do you think NI will ditch the machine controller version? I don't think so. I don't think so. The son of Linda. Will I be able to use my complete ultimate with the standalone? I've gotten some news that you will. You will be able to and I think some of this information is on the website as well. So just tell personas to get MK3 straight, please. I'm gonna check it out. I have to check it out first and see what's going on. Because I noticed something on the site that I've never seen before, so I'll have to like look at that and see. But we already got integration with the complete control, so it's like I'm cool. I don't need both of them to control, but for some of you guys that's only using machine, that would, I can understand that. I mean, my wall says whatever you feel like it should say. Yeah, but it don't quite say that. All right, guys, that's it. Y'all will keep going, and I appreciate all of the love and all of the comments and stuff like that, man. I mean, I feel overjoyed with everyone that was able to log in. I really did not plan on being on this long, just talking about this update, but it seems that a lot of you guys was interested in this topic. It's a pretty big topic, and y'all chimed in, just wanted to see what was going on. I'm usually this long when I'm making music, but I did not imagine me in here this long for this purpose. As you can see, the video started out bright. It's bright. I had to turn on the light. I had to adjust my exposure and all types of stuff several times. I wasn't under controlled lighting. I was using some free sunlight, and I had to make adjustments a few times because, yeah, man, absolutely. But I appreciate you guys. I welcome you guys to come back. Will I go live again? Probably tomorrow. I don't know. But it's hot right here with all of the future video. I got a couple of products I'm doing review on, and so putting that in the mix and then going live on top of that, on top of completing some projects I'm working on. So yeah, it's mingling all this stuff at the same time, and then with this topic, it's just dropped in the middle of my life. Okay, boom. And it's like, oh my God, I gotta pause what I'm doing just to talk to you guys about this. And you guys came out, and I appreciate you guys. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So before we leave, if you are watching, if you've never had a chance to thumbs up on the video, I would appreciate the thumbs up. It's never too late for a thumbs up, right? And subscribe to the channel, because this is where it all happens at. All right, guys. You guys remember to stay safe out there. My name is Ella from Creative Sound. Remember, music is art. You the artist. To paint your picture. Stay creative without rules, guys. And if you're interested, click the link in the description. Pre-order yours now. It's an affiliate link. It don't cost you anything extra. It just helps me out. Right? So I definitely appreciate that if you guys will do that if you're interested in this unit. I think it's a cool unit. But I'm out of here.